Hello, happy Sunday. So, hope everybody is buckled up and ready for this one. Most people know the headlines from the Tucson shooting. Far fewer have actually read the FBI files. Tonight, Rae and I are opening the records ourselves. We've gathered publicly available FBI documents, federal court filings, evidence photos, crime scene records, charging documents, and investigative materials from one of the most significant mass shootings in modern American history. We're not here to retell a documentary. We're here to see what the documents actually say. And along the way, we're going to look at the records, photos, and details that many people have probably never seen before. So buckle up, settle in, and let's follow the paper trail. Welcome back, everybody. If you're new here, my name is Cindy. This is Rae, and tonight we're diving into the Tucson shooting case files. On January 8th, 2011, a gunman opened fire during a Congress on Your Corner event in Tucson, Arizona. 6 people were killed, 13 were wounded, and Congresswoman Gabrielle Giffords was among those seriously injured. But tonight isn't about the headlines. It's about the investigation. It's about the records. It's about the evidence that became public after one of the most widely reported shootings in America. We're going to be reviewing FBI files, federal court documents, evidence, photographs, investigative records, and publicly available materials as we work our way through the case. As always, everything discussed tonight comes from publicly available records, and our goal is to examine the documents themselves and let the audience see what the investigators documented. If you're joining us live, let us know where you're watching from. Hit the like button on your way in, and let's get started. And if you haven't subscribed, subscribe.
Okay, what do you want to start with? Because we have the documents, we have his channel.
Let's start with his channel.
Okay.
So this is what they're purporting was his YouTube channel.
I don't think we'll be able to play the audio from the videos.
Because it has music.
Yes.
But you don't need to because the video it'll speak for itself.
Yeah. Let's just start with his introduction. Hold on, let me make sure the music is muted. Okay.
So as you can see, he doesn't, if I unmuted this, it would just be music. he doesn't speak in it, he's never seen in it either.
Yep. Just text on a screen.
He said he's needing sleep.
You tired?
He's referring to himself in third person.
I define terrorist. Okay.
This gets so interesting, guys.
Seriously.
The hell was that?
Still welcome to any new people popping in.
He can't trust the current government. Even the government knows they can't trust the government.
Okay. Oh, sorry, guys. That's not anything to do with him. That was just his introduction video. He has 5 other videos. This is his hello.
Hello, my name is Jared Lee Loughner. This video is my introduction to you. My favorite activity is conscious dreaming. The greatest inspiration for my political business information. It makes me feel like a psychiatrist wrote this,
Right.
like a crazy person.
Yeah. Informing literate dreamers about a new currency. He talks about that a lot. It's like what the other 3 or the other 2 videos over here are about. This is about how to mind controller. Not mind control, mind controller. Okay.
Which seems strange.
If your editing every belief in religion reaches the final century, then the writer for every belief in religion is you. You control every thought, action, and lifestyle for the person or people as the mind controller.
Sounds like a mind controller wrote it.
This is. Do you want to show the favorite video?
Yeah, this is like the favorite video. We can't play it either because it's like heavy metal music, and that's all it is. No speaking, no.
And it's this guy. You can't tell what mask he's wearing because the video is kind of low quality. It's older, and in the mask, it looks almost like it would be a satanic mask or something like that, and he's burning the American flag. Hi, Father.
And Granddad. No?
No, that's Dad.
Okay.
That one is Dad. He doesn't come on.
Is that a little big cactus?
Yeah. This is the guy in the video coming on. This is not Jared. This is not a video he posted. It's a video he favorited. Why is he walking like that?
Effect. creepy effect.
Does he think he has aura?
Is he wearing a trash bag?
It looks like it. Goodness.
Quite literally.
Like one of those big construction bags. Yeah. This is, you can see the mask kind of here, but not great view of it. I couldn't tell what it was.
I mean, no matter how shitty our government and country is, you don't burn a flag.
It looks like it's already torn.
Can you fasten? Make it faster.
I thought I was skipping when I hit that, but apparently not.
Your last memory in a terrorist country. It's not far off.
I don't know what he's doing here.
Maybe he burned his hand.
That's why you don't play with fire.
That's right. Play with matches, you get burnt. It's all faking gay. Well, he's lifting it up so he can see whatever he's trying to do, because he couldn't see, I think. Better. That would have been a shame if he had caught his mask on fire.
Oh, there we go. And then he waddles away. Waddle, waddle. Off camera and gone. And the rest of the video is just a flag burning. And that's the only video that Jared Loughner had saved on his YouTube, allegedly.
So everybody that has been following all of these shootings, if you haven't noticed the pattern, typically there is no social media that you can access, which you can still access this to this day.
Yeah. This is on YouTube's regular platform, not on like Internet Archives or anything like that. This is live from YouTube's platform today. You could search it up on your YouTube search engine yourself and find it.
So let's just be real. He is much like, is it James Holmes?
Yeah.
James Holmes went from being in a normal, no, is it?
Yeah. He got transferred from Colorado.
From in Colorado prison to a federal prison. Not much is known about him or his family. They're private. Just like this guy's family is very private, and he's an only child, or was an only child, or is an only child from Arizona. It looks like the parents still live there to this day.
Yeah, Jared is actually in a medical federal prison. Yeah. And if you look up his case through like Pacer or anything, it shows that he was sentenced to Bureau of Prisons for life.
13 consecutive life sentences.
Yeah.
So the story goes that he supposedly shot, what's her name?
Gabrielle.
Gabby Giffords point blank in the head.
Yes.
She survived, my guys.
And she wrote 2 books when she survived.
Her and her husband, which, by the way,
Her husband
is a
astronaut.
right.
He has went on numerous missions, and on top of that, he was military.
Oh yeah,
He was
can fly a plane.
He was what? Navy?
Navy, yes.
Yeah.
So where do we start?
I think we should start with maybe the timeline, because there is a timeline PDF.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. I don't think it's going to be able to read it, though. Yeah, no, they can't read it.
So 11/30/2010, Jared Lee Loughner purchased a Glock Model 19 9mm handgun with extended magazine and one box. I was going to say Xbox. Good lord, one box of ammo Winchester. On 1/7, Loughner drops off roll of 35mm film to be developed at Walgreens at 3800 whatever Tucson, Arizona. Loughner makes a purchase at Circle K. The address. Loughner
checks into Motel 6. So this is basically what he did in the time leading up to the shooting. This is actually
where's the videos? I mean, if they have all this proof, where is it? Besides them just saying it.
Loughner posted bulletin on MySpace titled "Goodbye, Friends,"
which is not available.
Which is crazy because all the MySpace profiles we found for him, at least the one that I seen, is listed in the FBI vault if you go to web.
This is Ian Carroll's web.
Ian Carroll's awesome, guys.
Rockstar.
Absolute goat. It shows, let me find it, something about a fake MySpace profile, and they investigated it.
Yeah.
But it turned out to be fake.
Along with all the fake X accounts.
Yeah. Like numerous. There's like a couple that are still up and public, but there's no post on them.
So then we go, Loughner makes a purchase for ammunition and a diaper bag, backpack style at Super Walmart. Arizona Game Fish Department officers stops Loughner for running a red light at Cortero Road. Well, they're allowed to stop people for driving?
For running a red light.
They're fishing game.
Oh.
Cab driver picks Loughner up from Circle K, Cortero Farms Road, Tucson, drives him to Safeway on Oracle Road in Tucson. Cab driver and Loughner enter Safeway to get change for fare. Hi, Duck. Loughner opens fire. 19 people wounded, 6 fatalities, 13 injured. I'm not laughing at that baby duck just barged in.
Yeah.
Pima County Sheriff's Department receives 911 call of shooting at the Safeway. First Medical Unit, Rural Metro Fire Rescue 76 paramedic unit dispatched to shooting at Safeway. Deputy Adet Tet is first deputy on scene and detained suspect. So he was
detained.
So his arrest warrant was made the next day. Yeah.
Yeah.
Medical personnel began arriving on scene. Southwest ambulance paramedic on scene at Safeway. And then, yeah.
This is the last of it.
So the warrant was served on Loughner's parents' residence on 1/8.
Could that be what the warrant was for then?
It could be, yeah.
Because I didn't fully read the warrant here. There's a search warrant and then there's an arrest warrant.
Well, those are different.
Yeah.
So this is his actual arrest warrant. You're going to have to make that bigger.
Way bigger. Sorry, guys.
So you are commanded. Whoa.
Sorry.
To arrest and bring before the United States magistrate judge without unnecessary delay. Who is accused of Jared Lee Loughner, who is accused of an offense or violation based on the following document filed in this court. Did attempt to kill Gabrielle Giffords, a member of Congress, in violation of the title, blah. Did unlawfully kill Gabrielle Zimmerman. Well, these are people we should have looked up. Right.
Yeah.
Did unlawfully kill John M. Roll. Oh, a district court judge.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, did with intent attempt to kill Pamela Simon, an employee with the United States who was engaged in performance of office. Did with intent attempt to kill Ron Barber, an employee with the United States who was engaged in performance of official duties in violation.
So were all of his victims somebody that worked for the states?
Well, it was a corner get together for
it was
publicity.
So was it just public figures, or
was it all just fake and gay? My opinion, allegedly.
And that's all that there is for the arrest warrant. The superseding indictment, which you would think for a superseding indictment, it would be long, right?
It would be superseding.
It's 3 pages.
One second.
Jared Lee Loughner, charged for multiple murders, attempted assassination, superseding indictment unsealed. Arraignment set for March 9.
One second. I don't know why it's struggling to load.
Tucson. A federal grand jury yesterday returned a 49-count superseding indictment against Jared Lee Loughner of Tucson for the murder of a federal judge and a congressional staff member, as well as for causing the deaths of 4 other participants and injuries to many more during his alleged attempt to assassinate U.S. Representative Gabrielle D. Giffords at her Congress on Your Corner event held on January 8. Loughner, 22, is charged with the murder of U.S. District Judge John M. Roll and Gabrielle M. Zimmerman, a staff member and director of community outreach for Rep. Giffords, according to the new indictment. Loughner will also face charges for causing the death of participants at a federally provided activity, namely the killings of Dorothy J. Morris, Phyllis C. Schneck, Dorwan C. Stoddard, and a child, referred to in the indictment as CTG, who were shot while waiting to see Rep. Giffords at the Congress on Your Corner event. This was an attack on Congresswoman Giffords, her constituents, and her staff, said U.S. Attorney Dennis K. Burke. We will seek justice for the federal officials, Judge Roll and Gabrielle M. Zimmerman, and for Dorothy J. Morris, Phyllis C. Schneck, Dorwan C. Stoddard, and CTG. These final 4 Arizonans' lives were extinguished while exercising one of the most precious rights of American citizens, the right to meet freely and openly with their member of Congress. The deceased are not the only ones whose rights are being defended. Those citizens who were peaceably assembled to speak to their member of Congress are also named victims in this indictment. This indictment involves potential death penalty charges, and department rules require us to pursue a deliberate and thorough process. That process is ongoing, and we will continue to work diligently to see that justice is done. The indictment also includes allegations brought forward in a previous indictment in January that Loughner attempted to assassinate Rep. Giffords, who was shot in the head and is undergoing rehabilitation in Houston, and attempted to murder 2 federal employees who worked for Giffords, District Director Ronald S. Barber, and Community Outreach Coordinator Pamela K. Simon, who were both shot multiple times and are recovering. Loughner will be arraigned on the new charges at a hearing on Wednesday, March 9, in Tucson before U.S. District Judge Larry Burns. Loughner has been held in federal custody since January 8. As stated previously, the Pima County Attorney's Office intends to pursue all state charges against Loughner. An indictment is simply the method by which a person is charged with criminal activity and raises no inference of guilt. An individual is presumed innocent until competent evidence is presented to a jury that establishes guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. In determining an actual sentence, should Loughner be convicted, Judge Burns will also consult the U.S. sentencing guidelines, which provide appropriate sentencing ranges. The judge, however, is not bound by those guidelines in determining a sentence. Burke emphasized that the procedure in any case which may result in a punishment of death requires a careful and deliberate process, and includes consultation with the victims of the crimes and their families, consideration of all evidence relevant to guilt and punishment, including aggravating and mitigating evidence, and consultation with all the law enforcement agencies investigating the case. Also, in order to pursue the death penalty, the U.S. Attorney's Office for Arizona must provide information to the Capitol Review Committee. For more detailed information about this process, click here. The investigation preceding the indictment was conducted by a multi-jurisdictional law enforcement team led by the FBI. The prosecution is being handled by Assistant U.S. Attorneys Wallace H. Kleindienst, Beverly K. Anderson, Christina M. Cavanez, and Mary Sue Feldmeyer of the District of Arizona, Tucson. Release number 2011-032 superseding indictment. For more information on the U.S. Attorney's Office, District of Arizona, visit.
And that's pretty much all that there is to the superseding indictment, except for the summary of charges. And again, superseding indictment. 3 pages? Hi. Welcome in.
It's literally quite unreal.
I had his original indictment too. I don't know if it's still in here though. And it's short too. What do you want to...
Let's do the search warrant.
Okay.
So this is a search warrant on his home of his very private family.
Okay, and I'm recording. Judge Brown, this is Detective Hogan of the Sheriff's Departments. Will you swear me in, please? Q. Yes, do you swear the information you are about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? A. Case 411,
Oh my God,
CR0187 Lab Document 152, filed March 9th, 2011, page 2 of 59. WW. I am investigating the crimes of violation of Arizona homicide laws, which I believe to have been committed on or about the 8th day of January, 2011, based upon the following reasons: 108,078 2, writings, personal items with names on them, a complete set of physical characteristics on Jared Lee Loughner, Loughner, birth date to include buccal cell swabs for DNA, major case fingerprinting, photographing of subject, a complete forensic processing of Jared Lee Loughner to include but not limited to collection of all clothing he is wearing, processing for trace evidence such as swabbing of hands and person, and photographing of person and future forensic analysis of all evidence obtained from his person or other evidence gathered in this case, together with other fruits, instrumentalytics, and evidence of the crimes of violation of Arizona homicide laws.
Swearing to the
as set for in this affidavit, I, Deputy Hogan, badge 1233, your affiant, am a peace officer in the state of Arizona. I have been employed with the Pima County Sheriff's Department since August 1998 and have the following training and experience. I attended the Southern Arizona Law Enforcement Training Center Basic Academy, the Pima County Sheriff's Department Advanced Academy, the Pima County Sheriff's Department Detective Training Course. I have attended numerous trainings within the department, which we attend on annual basis several times a year from various areas, including crime scene processing, interview and interrogation, and current investigative procedures. I've also been to training outside of the department to include in crime scene analysis and processing, interview and interrogation. I've been with the Sheriff's Department since '98. I worked on Street Paw, patrol for approximately 3 years on the South Side District, making arrests of investigating all types of crimes, up to and including homicides. I then became a detective with the Sheriff's Department, where I worked with the Domestic Violence Unit. I then went to the Robbery Assault Unit, where I worked any kind of robbery, home invasion, bank robbery, store robbery, or shooting. I then went to the Homicide Unit. I spent 5 years with the Homicide Unit, investigating over 100 to 125 homicides of various types, where I have processed multiple crime scenes, conducted interviews, and gathered and analyzed evidence. I was then a member of the Fugitive Investigative Strike Team, locating fugitives for approximately a year and a half, and currently am back with the Homicide Unit. I have obtained search warrants on numerous occasions in the past, including regards to evidence requested to search for in this case. And this evidence has been used throughout the prosecution phase in various investigations. Can you still hear me okay, Your Honor? Yeah, I've got you, fine. QA case 411CR01, 187 lab document 87-1 sealed filed February. Search warrant of Jared Lee Loughner and all vehicles case 110,108,078. Q. Okay. On today's date, Saturday, January 8th, 2011, at approximately 10:11 a.m., the Pima County Sheriff's Department began to receive multiple 911 calls about a shooting situation at the Safeway Shopping Plaza at 7170 North Oracle Road, the southeast corner of Ena and Oracle. Many of these calls indicated an active shooting situation, and patrol deputy response was initiated. UN deputies arrived at an extremely short time after the call was dispatched. When deputies arrived in front of the Safeway, they encountered numerous victims in the case and found several civilians on top of and containing a male subject, later identified by Arizona driver's license, as Jared Lee Loughner, Loughner, a target listed in this warrant. Were able to detain Mr. Loughner at the scene. Multiple witnesses at the scene indicated Mr. Loughner had been armed with a handgun, approached the Safeway, and began shooting at people in front of the Safeway. A handgun was located by deputies next to Mr. Loughner on the ground, and these witnesses also indicated Mr. Loughner had been armed with this specific gun when they tackled and disarmed him, holding him down until deputies arrived. In Mr. Loughner's left front pocket, located 2 handgun magazines with rounds in them, and he was found to be wearing earplugs at the time he was detained. I believe this is indication of pre-planning and further indication that other evidence will be located. At the scene in front of the Safeway, multiple people were found to have been wounded. A triage of the injured was begun, and several were transported to local hospitals. At the scene, 5 victims were pronounced deceased in front of the Safeway. Multiple spent cartridge casings were located in front of the Safeway, and this scene is being processed. Other victims were transferred to hospitals, and the outcome on their status is still pending. In Mr. Loughner's back pocket was located his Arizona driver's license. This license lists an address of, and this is the target address listed in this warrant, Your Honor. Various computer checks have been done on Mr. Loughner and the address. He has listed this address as his home address on past contacts with the police. Deputies responded today to the Soledad address after the shooting and contacted Mr. Loughner's parents inside the home. They confirmed to deputies that he does indeed live at that address at this time. He has a bedroom there and also has complete access to the home and yard and garage, where there is a vehicle inside the garage. They also told deputies the following facts. The morning of the shooting, earlier this morning, Mr. Loughner left the home in his green Chevy Nova listed in this warrant. He came back some time later, and the parents saw him removing a black bag from the trunk of his Nova. He went. Search warrant of Jared Lee Loughner. In all vehicles, case hashtag 108,078. Inside to talk to Mr. Loughner in the home. He would not talk to them. And he eventually took off running from the home north and then east. The Safeway is east from Mr. Loughner's home. The description of him and what he was wearing matches what he is wearing at the time he was detained at the Safeway. The parents state Mr. Loughner is known to maintain journals and writings inside the home, and these items should be in the house. He is also known to have a shotgun that at this time is locked in the trunk of the car inside the garage. Specifically, I've listed any other vehicles in the garage or curtilage, as we cannot obtain a plate or vehicle at the time in the garage on this car. He is also known to use a cellular telephone to communicate. He also has a computer in the home, and which is currently located in the kitchen, and specifically, a video he recently made may be on the computer per the parents. They described this as a video he made about the First Amendment that caused him to be dismissed from Pima Community College. All this may be evidence of pre-planning of this incident. Computer checks on Mr. Loughner have determined the following. He has a past contact with the Pima County Sheriff's Department where he was spray painting extremist type symbols on a wall. He has also had numerous recent contacts with Pima Community College police and Pima Community College officials. These contacts indicate extreme behavior to the point that he was dismissed from the Pima Community College over the video he made about the First Amendment. A check over the internet after the shooting by running Mr. Loughner's name also located a MySpace account in the name of Jared Loughner. This MySpace had anti-government postings, and specifically, earlier this morning, has a recent posting saying goodbye. Regarding cellular telephones and their analysis requested based on my training and experience, cellular telephones and their contents can contain evidence and can be used to further an investigation. I have obtained and analyzed cellular telephones in the past and have located text messages, photographs, and videos detailing crimes, their commission, or their planning. This includes text talking about crimes and photograph taking in preparation for committing a crime. In this case, there's a pattern of pre-planning, as I have indicated by the actions of Mr. Loughner, as well as other items. And the cell phone, cellular telephone, used would indicate evidence may be located on any phones we do find regarding computers and associated items. Based on my training and experience, computers and computer-related storage and media can contain evidence and be used to further an investigation. I have seized and have analyzed computers in the past, and evidence such as emails, photographs, and videos related to planning and commission of crimes has been located. Also, specific to this incident, information already located on public areas of the internet such as MySpace, indicates Mr. Loughner uses computers, and any. Case 411CR 01187 lab document, case hashtag, and its planning. Computers located may contain evidence of him in the home. Also, I and the other deputies and agents involved have had training and experience dealing with extremist groups and extremist individuals. These individuals and groups are known to educate themselves and communicate through the internet. They are also known to publish periodicals and oftentimes create writings about their views and plans. Mr. Loughner's recent contacts with police and school officials indicate a pattern consistent with this type of extremism. The statements of Mr. Loughner's parents regarding writings indicate there may be such items in the home. Regarding physical characteristics and forensic processing of Mr. Loughner, multiple witnesses have identified Mr. Loughner as the shooter in this situation. And scene analysis and witness statements indicate he was close to the victims at the time he was shooting. He was also eventually tackled and held down by victims in this case, one of which, at this time, we believe to have been wounded. All this would indicate evidence may be located on his person or clothing. Evidence such as the weapon and casings have also been located at the scene. These items may reveal forensic evidence such as fingerprints and DNA. Obtaining physical characteristics from Mr. Loughner will allow comparison to these items. As of the time of this search warrant, Mr. Loughner has not made a statement to the police. QA. Can you still hear me okay, Your Honor? I've got you. Q. Okay. Let's see. Based upon the preceding facts, I, Deputy Hogan, request that a telephone search warrant be issued. I also request that you consider this affidavit and incorporate it into the warrant itself. QA. NY. This concludes my affidavit, Your Honor. All right. I will authorize the warrant, NYNHQ. Okay. I will now read verbatim to you the standard Arizona duplicate original search warrant, State of Arizona. Is it okay if I just indicate which spaces I have checked? Yeah. I was going to tell you, you can indicate only the ones you've checked, and you can incorporate the affidavit by reference. You don't need to reread that. Okay. Thank you, Your Honor. Standard Arizona, duplicate, original search warrant, State of Arizona, County of Pima, State of Arizona. To any peace officer in the State of Arizona, www case 41101 0187 lab document, sealed, filed February 10th, 2000 lab document. Search warrant of Jared Lee Loughner. Proof of affidavit having been made this date before me by Detective Chris Hogan, PCSD 1233rd. I am satisfied that there is probable cause to believe that on the persons of Jared Lee Loughner, on the premises known as a beige block with brown trim, the numbers to include any outbuildings on curtilage, one-story home made on the mailbox out front. In the vehicles described as a green in color Chevy, license plate, Golf, Papa, November 621. The VIN is 113,279, whiskey, or any other vehicles in the garage or curtilage. State of Arizona, there is now being processed or concealed certain property or things described as, and I'm going to read the list, Your Honor, okay? That's fine. Q, okay? A, go ahead. Any firearms, firearm parts, holsters, gun cases, ammunition, spent casings, gun cleaning kits, or firearm-related paperwork or periodicals. Any cellular telephones or associated media and storage, to include complete forensic analysis and viewing of contents. Any computers, hard drives, thumb drives, disks, memory cards, or computer-associated storage and media, to include forensic analysis and viewing of contents. Any notes, journals, ledgers, CDs, movies, writings, or correspondence that would indicate participation, motive, or pre-planning for this crime. Any books, periodicals, uniforms, photographs, or other paraphernalia associated with extremism or anti-government movements. Indicia of occupancy or ownership, to include, but not limited to, bills, mail, photographs, writings, personal items with names on them. Complete set to include buccal cell of physical characteristics on Jared Lee Loughner, swabs for DNA, major case fingerprints, photographing of subject, complete forensic, to include, but not limited to, collection processing of Jared Lee Loughner, of all clothing he is wearing, processing for trace evidence such as swabbing of hands in person, photographing a person, and future forensic analysis of all evidence obtained. Standard.
The search warrant is kind of long, so we're not going to go through
The
all
Q&A with all his
Yeah, it's quite lengthy. It's 59 pages, and it's just, them acquiring and going through his house. What we will go through is the federal charges in Giffords' shooting case, because there is a separate PDF for the federal charges against Jared for the attempted assassination on Gabby. And it's going to lead us into what we have next for you guys.
Federal complaint filed against Jared Lee Loughner. Phoenix, the United States Attorney for the District of Arizona, Dennis K. Burke, announced today that his office filed a federal complaint against Jared Lee Loughner. The complaint was signed by Magistrate Judge Michelle Burns in Phoenix. Loughner is suspected of shooting U.S. Representative Gabrielle Giffords, Chief Judge John Roll, Giffords staff member Gabrielle Zimmerman, and approximately 16 others Saturday in Tucson. The federal complaint alleges 5 counts against Loughner. Count 1. On or about January 8, 2011, at or near Tucson, in the District of Arizona, the defendant, Jared Lee Loughner, did attempt to kill Gabrielle Giffords, a member of Congress, in violation of Title 18, United States Code Section 351. Count 2. On or about January 8, 2011, at or near Tucson, in the District of Arizona, the defendant, Jared Lee Loughner, did unlawfully kill Gabrielle Zimmerman, an employee of the United States who was engaged in performance of official duties and who was assisting member of Congress Gabrielle Giffords while she was engaged in performance of official duties, in violation of Title 18, United States Code, Sections 1114 and 1111. Count 3. On or about January 8, 2011, at or near Tucson, in the District of Arizona, the defendant, Jared Lee Loughner, did unlawfully kill John Emerald, a United States District Court judge for the District of Arizona, an employee of the United States who was engaged in performance of official duties, in violation of Title 18, United States Code, Sections 1114, at or near Tucson, in the District of Arizona, the defendant, Jared Lee Loughner, did, with intent to kill, attempt to kill Pamela Simon, who was engaged in performance of official duties and who was assisting member of. 2. Congress Gabrielle Giffords while she was engaged in performance of official duties, in violating United States Code, United States Code. On or about January 8, 2011, in the District of Arizona, the defendant, Jared Lee Loughner, did, with intent to kill, attempt to kill Ron Barber, an employee of the United States who was engaged in performance of official duties and who was assisting member of Congress Gabrielle Giffords while she was engaged in performance of official duties, in violation of Title 18, United States Code.
Okay. And if you just search Gabby Giffords, her overview comes up with her book, okay?
So 2 books.
Yeah. That she wrote with her husband, Mark Kelly. And
After.
yes. The first one is A Story of Courage and Hope. She wrote this shortly after the assassination attempt on her life. And then in 2014, she wrote Enough, Our Fight to Keep America Safe from Gun Violence. And she wrote that 3 years later.
Yeah,
roughly.
with her husband.
Both were wrote with
The
Mark Kelly.
astronaut.
Yes.
I don't know if anybody is noticing a pattern in the names.
For the people that died.
Yeah.
And the people that
yeah.
are investigating.
Yes.
Yeah. The last names and stuff. Gabby also joined the gun control movement after the assassination attempt on her life. But she has been a part of the Democratic Party, I think, even when she was a House of Representatives member. And she campaigned for no one other than Joe Biden. This actually talks about that. So,
look at that face.
You want to?
Look at that face, guys. What's the top first word? Jewish. Gun control activists,
including Gabby Giffords. Here.
Gabby Giffords, the Jewish former congresswoman who became a leader in the gun control movement after being shot by an assailant in the head in 2011, opened the third night of the Democratic convention with an appeal to elect Joe Biden president. "We can let the shooting continue or we can act," Giffords said in a recorded video that opened the proceedings Wednesday at the convention, held virtually because of the coronavirus pandemic. "We can protect our families, our future. We can vote. We can be on the right side of history. We must elect Joe Biden." Giffords described her difficulties since the attack, in which 18 people were shot, 6 fatally. "Words once came easily. Today I struggle with speech," she said. "But I have not lost my voice." Giffords' husband, Mark Kelly, a retired astronaut, is running to flip Arizona's Senate seat to Democrats. Tonight, she gave her longest speech since she was shot nearly 10 years ago, he said on Twitter. "She reminds me every day to never give up." Giffords drew cheers when she spoke on the same topic, also with difficulty, during the 2016 Democratic convention. The grim ranks of people affected by gun violence swelled since then. And on Tuesday night, during the roll call of delegates formally electing Biden as the nominee, Fred Gutenberg, whose daughter Jaime was killed in the 2018 attack on a high school in Parkland, Florida, announced the vote of Florida delegates. Gutenberg, who is Jewish, has become a leader in the movement to reform gun laws. Another Jewish parent of a Parkland victim, Andrew Pollack, has argued against restricting gun ownership and will speak at next week's Republican convention. While the first quarter hour focused on gun control, and there were sections on undocumented migrants and climate change, much of the 2-hour program Wednesday night was about the rise of women in politics.
Did you guys catch that? About
Giffords drew cheers when she spoke the same topic, also with difficulty during Tuesday. By gun violence swelled since Tuesday night during the roll. Yeah. Fred Gutenberg, whose daughter Jamie was killed in a 2018 attack on a high school in Parkland.
So the major Parkland shooting, Fred Gutenberg, which was... Who is he? Who is Jewish, has become a leader in movement to reform gun laws, another Jewish parent. I don't know who that is.
Yeah, a Jew.
Outside of the fact that he's Jewish.
We are going to seriously be the United States of Israel. We kind of already are.
Yeah. Which we were looking into Parkland too, and we will probably be covering.
I mean, guys, think about this. Truly, think about this. 9/11. All of these shootings all have a pattern of
copy and paste.
Yes,
the same exact thing. They all have a copy and paste manifesto of some sort that explains why they must do it or why they want to do it or why they're going to do it, whatever.
It's always almost always
Israel is everywhere.
Yeah, definitely. I could. It's Dan. Hi, Dan.
Hi, Dan. You want me to go ahead and close this? Or do you want to?
Yeah, I think we get it. I mean, wait.
This?
Yeah.
Among the women introducing Harris was Ella Emhoff, the daughter of her Jewish husband Douglas, who addressed her stepmother with the family's Yiddish-sounding colloquialism, Mamala.
Wait.
The keynote speech Wednesday was by former President Barack Obama, who delivered a stark warning about the dangers he said a second Trump term would pose to democracy. He accused Trump of seeking to keep people from voting. Do not let them take away your power, said Obama, speaking from the Museum of the American Revolution in Philadelphia. Don't let them take away your democracy. Obama invoked the belief in American democracy by populations who had to overcome prejudice to take part, including blacks, immigrants, and Jews. Whatever our backgrounds, we're all the children of Americans who fought the good fight, he said.
Yeah.
Great-grandparents working in fire traps and sweatshops without rights or representation. Farmers losing their dreams to dust. Irish and Italians and Asians and Latinos told to go back where they came from. Jews and Catholics, Muslims and Sikhs made to feel suspect for the way they worshipped. Black Americans chained and whipped and hanged. Spit on for trying to sit at lunch counters. Beaten for trying to vote. Jay covers our community better than any other source and provides news you can't find elsewhere.
That's
Whatever.
the end of that.
I mean, I don't know about you, but it completely disgusts me because
Mexico has a female president? I didn't even know that.
in no way are they even remotely trying to protect American citizens.
No.
In fact, in my opinion, allegedly, they're the cause of all of this. And this is actually one of the cases where I don't know if we want to go with the ultra.
The president of Mexico is Jewish. This girl. Look at Dan coming in with the
this shit
knowledge.
just gives me a headache. Seriously, it really does.
Look at Dan
You can't
coming
make
in
this
with the
up.
knowledge.
What is she, a Mexican Jew? Is that the
Apparently.
deal?
She's the president of Mexico.
It's unreal.
Quite.
If everybody does not see the pattern here.
She's only 55.
"9/11, the Jews that were posted up in the towers that busted up and left, packed their shit up before it went down while they sat across on the bridge watching everything happen. Come on. This is the United States of Israel, in my opinion, allegedly. And in this case in particular, they're force feeding this guy drugs.
Yeah. Actually, we have the... Hold on. Let me find the initial...
And he doesn't want them. And if ever there was a time to maybe think about or bring up the MK, I would say now. And then they totally flipped that and turned it into that person is schizophrenic.
I don't know if this is the initial filing for it. I do know that this is his appeal or his
So it's
defense's appeal.
Yeah.
For it. I believe.
It's titled forced medication.
Yeah.
Jared Loughner appeals the district court's order denying a prompt post-deprivation hearing on the emergency forced medication of Mr. Loughner. The district court issued an oral ruling on August 26, 2011, and entered a written order on August 30, 2011, a district court jurisdiction. The order appealed from was entered in a criminal prosecution against Mr. Loughner for offenses arising out of a shooting incident in Tucson, Arizona. The United States District Court of the District of Arizona has original jurisdiction over the prosecution. 18 U.S.C. Section 3231,
Hands from Tucson.
the appellate jurisdiction. Mr. Loughner filed a timely notice of appeal on August 29, 2011. Fed. R. App. This court has jurisdiction over a timely appeal from an appealable interlocutory order within its geographical jurisdiction, 28 U.S.C., and 26, 563 F 1026, of evading review, and 28. The question of the trial date has been set. He is currently in the custody of the Attorney General, pursuant to 241. Statement of issues presented for review. First, on July 18, following a claimed emergency, prison officials began forcibly medicating Jared Loughner with antipsychotic drugs. No hearing of any kind was held until August 25, over 5 weeks later, when the prison held an administrative proceeding purporting to justify continued medication. Did the prison deprive Mr. Loughner of liberty without due process by failing to seek a prompt hearing to determine whether continued forcible medication was justified? Second, have the prison's actions denied Mr. Loughner due process? by forcibly medicating him without an adversarial hearing and a judicial determination that antipsychotic medication is medically appropriate, and considering less intrusive means, essential to the safety of Mr. Loughner or others. Statutory provisions. A copy of 28 degrees Celsius. A copy of 2049.46 appears in the attached addendum. Statement of the case. Mr. Loughner is a pretrial detainee charged with federal offenses arising out of shootings in Tucson, Arizona, on January 8, 2011, where 6 people were killed and 13 injured. The district court has committed Mr. Loughner to the custody of the Attorney General for an additional 4 months for competency restoration. He continues to be involuntarily medicated, though no court has ever determined that these drugs are medically appropriate, that they are, considering less intrusive means essential to Mr. Loughner's safety, or that they are substantially unlikely to deprive Mr. Loughner of a fair trial. This court has pending before it 2 appeals of involuntary medication orders in this case, both of which have been fully briefed and argued. See case notes 1,110,339 to 10,504. This appeal arises from the prison's July 18 decision to forcibly medicate Mr. Loughner on an emergency basis, and to continue that forcible medication for 5 weeks without any hearing to determine whether this deprivation of liberty was justified. In addition to raising procedural and substantive due process challenges identical to those which have been briefed and argued, this appeal raises the serious question of whether, having been forcibly medicated on grounds of danger to self, without any prior proceeding, Mr. Loughner had the right to a prompt post-deprivation judicial hearing so as to ensure that a wrongful deprivation of his liberty would not continue indefinitely. Statement of facts. On July 18, 2011, on the basis of a claimed emergency, the district court denied the defense request for the court to conduct a prompt post-deprivation hearing to determine whether continued forced medication was justified. The prison's forced medication decisions. The government has now been forcibly administering antipsychotic medications to Mr. Loughner since June 22, 2011, with a 17-day break starting on July 1, when this court issued a temporary stay of medication. The medication regimen began with a small dose of just 1 drug, mg of risperidone twice a day, and has since increased, with various changes along the way, to the 4 to 5 drug cocktail currently forced on him. No court has authorized the prison's actions. Case 11 to 10,432, November 21, 2004, 21st, 2011. 9. The emergency medication decision that is the subject of this appeal arises from C case number 11 to 10,504, ER 619-26. The report set out the prison's purported justification for forcibly medicating Mr. Loughner, CID. According to the report, Mr. Loughner required emergency medication because he posed an immediate threat to self, ID, at ER 622. The report contained various observations of Mr. Loughner's mental and physical state, including difficulty sleeping, inability to stop pacing, and weight loss, ID, at ER 622 to 23, see also ID, at ER 625 to 26. The report concluded that Mr. Loughner has deterioration of his status and grave disability with an extreme deterioration in his personal functioning, secondary to his mental illness. Emergency medication is justified, ID, at ER 624. Case 11 to 10,432, November 21, 2011 ID, 7 million, November 21, 2011 ID, 7,925. The day before the district court held a hearing on the issue. The day before the district court held a hearing on the issue, the day before the administrative proceeding. Approximately 2 weeks later, the decision to continue forcible medication was overturned by an associate warden for failing to comply with the administrative procedures set forth in the governing regulation, 28 degrees Celsius, FR, section 549. At ER 650, but the prison continued to forcibly medicate Mr. Loughner. On September 15, the prison conducted another administrative hearing that was ultimately upheld on appeal to the warden. CID, at ER 660-67. Forced medication continues to this day. The district court's to this day of the July 18 emergency medication decision and the prison's failure to hold a post-medication administrative hearing, the defense moved the district court to conduct a prompt post-deprivation hearing. The court scheduled a hearing on this motion for August 26. At that hearing, the court advised the parties it had been contacted by the prison just before the hearing about an administrative proceeding conducted at the prison the day before, ER 6. But because period for appeal of that decision has not expired, ER 12, the court concluded that the prison had not presumed to medicate Mr. Loughner on the basis. Case 11.
One would have to ask, why would they be forcing medication on him unless they want him to be a zombie?
What type of meds was it again? Do you remember?
Antipsychotic.
Yikes. Yikes, yikes, yikes.
So he's not even found guilty. His rights are stripped of him.
And we have his there's a letter from, I think, a mental health facility of some form that clarifies that he never was
he was never in a mental
he was
hospital
never,
facility prior to this happening.
Yeah. So why he would be forcibly having to take meds is even weirder.
Unless they were, trying to keep him down like a zombie.
Right. And antipsychotics will do that to you.
ID. Agreed the August 26 hearing concerned only the July 18 decision to eviction. At the September 26 hearing, the defense made clear that a post-deprivation hearing, our view is that due process does at times allow the government to engage in behavior which deprives an individual of substantive and or procedural due process of property and or liberty without providing the process that would normally be required. When there's an overwhelming need, when there's an emergency, they can do that. ER 28 to 29, CER 42, at the hearing, as it claimed in its written response. See government response to motion for prompt hearing at 4. That because the July 18 decision to medicate was made on an emergency basis, Mr. Loughner was entitled to no more process than provided in the prison's regulation. It also argued as a fallback that if any post-deprivation hearing, case 11 to 10,000, November 21st, 2011 ID, was necessary, the administrative procedure held over 5 weeks later, on August 25. The district court agreed with the government's primary argument, applying the regulation applicable at the time of the August 26 hearing, specifically 28 CFR, section 549.46. 3. The court ruled that section 549.46 and case law justify the conclusion that the Bureau of Prisons and its medical experts should have that discretion in the first instance. ER 54. It further concluded that there is some limited judicial review of those determinations, and that's for arbitrariness. That's to ensure, for example, that the CFR is complied with. ID. The court then considered the alleged reasons for the July 18 decision, ER 6061, and found applying an arbitrariness standard to this emergency decision, I don't see anything arbitrary about it. The factual circumstances and background that led the doctors to take action seems entirely appropriate and reasonable to me. ER 61 to 62. To conclude, the court denied the motion for a judicial post-deprivation hearing, stating it would adhere to its view that the determination of dangerousness and whether to involuntarily medicate that is a determination left to the Bureau of Prisons. That the only involvement this court has at this point is to review whether the CFR and other procedures were complied with and whether there was any arbitrariness, ER 65. The court never addressed what substantive standard is required by due process to forcibly medicate on an emergency basis. See the district court's written order. On August 30, 4 days after the hearing, the court confirmed its oral ruling in a written order. It specifically rejected the defense request for a judicial hearing at which the government must demonstrate that the drugs are essential to mitigating safety concerns after consideration of less intrusive alternatives. 2. Without ever addressing the correct substantive standard to be applied, the court claimed to apply the Harper standard, which it articulated by citing to one of its previous orders. Harper is clear that doctors, not lawyers and judges, should answer the question whether an inmate should be involuntarily medicated to abate his dangerousness and maintain prison safety. The court never explained how Harper resolved the question of appellant's entitlement to a prompt post-deprivation hearing, nor did it address how this aspect of Harper's procedural due process analysis applied to the substantive standard that the defense argued is applicable to pretrial detainees. Rather, the court simply found that the defense did not establish that the prison's actions were arbitrary. ER 3. Summary of argument. The district court's ruling was erroneous on 2 grounds. First, it erred in rejecting the argument that due process requires any emergency decision to deprive Mr. Loughner of his liberty interest in remaining free of involuntarily administered psychotropic medication, be followed by a prompt post-to-deprivation hearing. According to the district court, no post-deprivation hearing was required at all, let alone a prompt one, because the prison regulations do not require such a hearing. This position does not square with well-established principles of due process. The regulation in question, 28 degrees Celsius, FR $549.46, fails to comply with basic requirements of due process. Second, the district court erred in ruling that the post-deprivation procedures need not include a hearing before a court of law and a judicial determination in the first instance. A proper balancing of interests, under Matthews v. Eldridge, establishes that a judicial proceeding is necessary in light of the weighty interests of a pretrial detainee like Mr. Loughner, and the substantial risks of erroneous deprivation of liberty, which in this context greatly outweigh governmental claims of inconvenience. Case 11 to 10 of 29. The prompt, judicial, post-deprivation hearing, and urged by the defense in Tucson, Nevada, and urged by the defense in appeals in case no's. This standard uploads sufficient pre-deprivation review of the decision, whether such action lies outside the mainstream of psychiatric care, whether less restrictive alternatives of seclusion, restraints, and or minor tranquilizers, or antidepressants were available, and could be used with fewer long-term consequences and better short-term efficacy, and whether a neurodevelopmental disease, such as schizophrenia, can give rise to an emergency which might justify forced medication for indefinite periods of time, are questions which should be determined at a hearing before the district court. These questions must be answered promptly by a court to ensure meaningful protection of important constitutional rights. The district court failed to conduct any meaningful review in this case, and that failure continues today. Its denial of the motion for such review should be reversed. Argument. Even if the prison asserts that forced medication with antipsychotic drugs is warranted on an emergency basis, Mr. Loughner is entitled, a minimum, to a prompt post-deprivation review of this determination by the court. Mr. Loughner has a due process right to bodily integrity free of unwanted, forcible administration of psychiatric medication. Washington v. Harper, 494 U.S. 210, 221. The Due Process Clause protects a pretrial detainee's desire to be free of unwanted brain-altering chemicals, absent as showing they are essential to the government's objectives following consideration of less intrusive alternatives. See, for example, Riggins v. Nevada, 504 U.S. 127, 135. This is true even in an emergency context. Even when emergency action is required to avert imminent harm, due process guarantees, at a minimum, a prompt and fair post-deprivation review of the state action. Broco v. Mercer Company. 200. Additionally, in the case of a pretrial detainee being forcibly medicated with powerful antipsychotic drugs, the proper balancing of interests under Matthews v. Eldridge, 424 U.S. 319, reveals that any administrative procedures by the prison do not provide adequate procedural protections to vindicate Mr. Loughner's strong liberty interests in a fair trial and avoiding the effects of unwanted psychotropic drugs. Rather, due process requires that any decision to forcibly medicate be reviewed by a court upon presentation of evidence by both parties. See cell 539 U.S. at 182. Because the prison began forcibly medicating Mr. Loughner on emergency grounds of danger to self, the district court was required to hold a prompt hearing to review the propriety of such action. A procedural due process requires a prompt post-deprivation review. The prison continues to violate Mr. Loughner's bodily integrity, to deprive him of his right to be free of unwanted psychiatric medication. Due process requires review of that conduct to ensure that the prison's actions are justified by sufficiently compelling interests. And while the requirements of process may be delayed, where emergency action is necessary to avert imminent harm, this delay can only be justified if adequate post-deprivation process to ratify the emergency action is promptly accorded. Jordan v. Jackson, 15, a 300 regulation here. The governing prison regulation here, 28 degrees Celsius FR section 500, simply that the BOP may forcibly medicate during a psychiatric emergency. Case 11 to 10,432, November 21st, 2 1 page, section 549.49.46, places no limits on the maximum duration. For these reasons, the regulation in the prison's actions towards Mr. Loughner violate the Constitution. In the psychiatric emergency context, the need for prompt post-deprivation review is recognized by state emergency commitment statutes, which typically require a post-emergency hearing within 24 to 72 hours. See 24 to 72 hours. Section 21 to 502, DC, and Section 21 to 523, Idaho Code and Section 66 to 31.15, see also NC General Stat. Sections 122, Section 36 to 506 business days, extension of 36 to 907.56 DKT entry, 2 to 1 page, Section 9.39 state, 2 to 1 page, Section 9.39 state laws, and only for a period of 3 to 5 days. Generally, for a period of 3 to 5 days. CN 50 Colo, Reverend Stat, and Section 2853D, Mass. General Laws and Section 17A to 502. Indeed, at least one state expressly limits the duration of emergency forcible medication. 248 FD6 DKT entry. November 21st, 2056 DKT entry, 2 to 1 page. Legislature's regulation in Brecadize and with the proceedings.
So that's basically the gist of the appeal from his defense team.
Sorry and stuff. We're gonna keep them on antipsychotics and doped up.
Yeah. And this was the prosecution's appeal, I think, prior to that one. I think I downloaded that one and it was before the initial appeal.
Go to the PI's letter to Loughner's neighbors.
It's only 2 pages.
So this is a private investigator.
Jordan and Associates LLC, confidential investigations.
Oh, look.
Dear Mrs. Reach, we are a private investigations
noticed that
agency
too.
headquartered in Indianapolis. We conduct a wide variety of investigations here locally and throughout the country. We are well known within our industry and with media outlets for obtaining video of persons or events where other agencies have failed. We have been closely following the recent tragedy in Tucson and are, as with the whole nation, saddened by the senseless violence that took place there. We have been contacted by a news media source that has requested our services in covering an angle to this story that hasn't had much, if any, coverage thus far. The parents of Jared Loughner have hidden from the cameras and reporters inside their home since the day of the shootings. They are a side of this story that hasn't successfully been exposed yet, and we are contacting you to request your assistance in this endeavor. We noticed your appearance this past Sunday on ABC's This Week with Christiana Monpour, where you provided some insight on these people from the perspective of a neighbor. Same cooperation from you in our efforts to obtain video of the Loughners, video that hasn't been obtained from any other source up to this point. We are requesting your permission to allow us to place a camera recorder in your home pointed out of a front window at the Loughner home across the street. This system is fairly compact and unnoticeable and can record for days straight once it is set up. We would leave the equipment in your home for a couple of weeks and return to retrieve it. Page 2. Letter to Lynn Reach, January 18th, 2011. Our objective is to capture the Loughners on video leaving their home at some point during those couple of weeks.
What the fuck?
Our client is seeking this type of video for a story they are working on.
Weird.
We would appreciate your help in our efforts, as this is such an important national, if not global, news event. If you agree to assist us, please contact us by telephone or email, as this would help expedite our scheduling to meet with you at your home. Thank you in advance for your consideration in this important matter.
Yeah, let me just put a camera outside your home to catch your neighbors leaving theirs.
Because they don't want to be on camera for this debacle that was created by the United States of Israel. In my opinion, allegedly.
It's so crazy to me.
So now it's going to be mission. Let's go back and look at every single one of these shootings and just see how many Israelis are involved.
Yeah.
Because, they don't give a shit about their own people. Why not come over here and just, start targeting our kids and creating a bunch of homicidal occurrences?
This is the behavioral health or mental health place that sent out an email or a statement or whatever regarding the
media reports.
Yeah. For Jared.
Tucson REs. The following is a statement from Kevin Phillips, spokesman for Sonora Behavioral Health Hospital in Tucson, Arizona, regarding recent news media reports that Jared Lee Loughner, the man charged in the January 2011 shootings in Tucson, had received treatment from Sonora Behavioral Health Hospital in 2006. As has been reported recently in the media, federal prosecutors and defense attorneys have sought access to any existing medical records relating to defendant Loughner from Sonora Behavioral Health Hospital. Sonora Behavioral Health Hospital has cooperated with both federal prosecutors and defense attorneys in their discovery efforts by communicating legal requirements of confidentiality laws applicable to such records. U.S. District Court Judge Burns has granted a prosecution motion and issued an order granting Sonora the ability to directly produce any applicable records to Dr. Christina Peets, who is one of the court-appointed competency examiners. Sonora has complied with the court's order. Sonora does want to clarify that defendant Loughner was never treated at or admitted to Sonora Behavioral Health Hospital in 2006 or at any time since then. We are unable to comment with specific details in compliance with the applicable confidentiality laws. Sonora Behavioral Health Hospital is a 56-bed hospital dedicated to the treatment of behavioral health and chemical dependency issues affecting children, adolescents, and adults. For more information on Sonora Behavioral Health Hospital,
And that's all that is. It's just a statement making sure that it's known that he wasn't
a patient in-house ever.
Now, if he had a therapist or a psychiatrist that he was seeing by them, obviously they can't release those records. But he was never physically living there or committed to stay.
What is this judge's order?
It's only 2 pages.
In an earlier order, the court announced it would hold a hearing in San Diego on September 21, 2011, with defense counsel appearing personally and government counsel appearing by video conference from Tucson, to consider whether the defendant's commitment at FMC Springfield can be extended under 18 U.S.C. Section 4241, for the purpose of restoring him to competency to stand trial. Defense counsel had informed the court of their willingness to waive the defendant's personal presence at the hearing. However, on Friday, September 16, the prosecutors notified the court that after reviewing 18 U.S.C. Section 40247, they believe the defendant has to be personally present for the hearing. The court held an impromptu telephonic hearing on Monday, September 19, to consider the issue. After considering the arguments of counsel and hearing testimony from Dr. Christina Peets, the principal FMC Springfield staff psychologist treating the defendant, the court determined that pursuant to 18 U.S.C. Section 4247, the defendant's presence is required at the September 21 hearing. Accordingly, the court continued the hearing until Tuesday, September 27 at 1:30 p.m. to allow the U.S. Marshal sufficient time to facilitate the Case 411 CR 000187 Lab Document 315 defendant's transportation from Springfield Mo to Tucson. 28. After the September 19 hearing concluded and the new date had been set, the government informed the court that several of the victims and victim witness advocates will be unavailable on the 27th, and that it would be a burden on Dr. Peets to travel on the morning of the 27th for an afternoon hearing. The government requested that the hearing be postponed one additional day to Wednesday, September 28. The court finds good cause to grant the request. It is not problematic that the 120 days permitted by 18 U.S.C. Section 4241, for evaluation of the defendant, will have ostensibly passed by then, by a day. See United States v. Magasuba, 544 F. 387, 408, to impose a 4-month deadline on the district court's decisional authority to order Section 41 commitment. As the Second Circuit in Magasuba observed, the 120-day evaluation period binds the Attorney General, not the court. Moreover, the defendant will likely depart Springfield for Tucson before September 27, within the 120-day evaluation period. In all events, in consideration of the foregoing circumstances, the court finds that good cause exists to postpone the hearing on whether an extension of the defendant's commitment to FMC Springfield should be granted until September 28 at 1:30 p.m. The hearing will take place in Tucson, with all parties and the defendant appearing there personally. It is so ordered. Dated September 20th, 2000.
That's for his competency to stand for trial. Do you want to look at the emails or plea agreement? The emails are from him going back and forth with staff at his, I think, community college.
Yeah, the college. Go ahead and look at them.
Let me scroll up. This is from Jared to Stitler.
Yeah, something for it's somebody
Need to
else.
be changed. Hello. Sending this email because I checked my grade for Art 101 40 p.m. 3:55 p.m. MW and received a I. I was there for every class and turned in every assignment. Still have all the assignments and quizzes in my portfolio. Went to a counselor and they told me to email you for a grade change. Student ID, a 01878842. Jared Loughner. Bonhorse Chris. Jared, you will not be receiving an I. There was some kind of error in grade submissions and we are in the process of correcting it. I won't be able to check my emails again until May 30th, so your counselor might try to contact Pat Houston, Dean of Arts and Humanities. She is in contact with me and knows what's going on. You got a B in the class. Selena Littler. From Jared L. Loughner. Sent Wednesday, May 27th, 2009, 3:50. Jared. The answers are given for you to check your own work. In other words, do the homework first, and then see how you did by checking yourself. If you then do not understand why you miss a particular problem, you ask me in class. The homework September 3rd says, click here for homework for next class, which means it is due for the next class meeting. Sincerely, Kent Slinker. From Jared L. Loughner, sent Tuesday, September 1st, 2000, and 9:07 p.m. to Kent Slinker. Subject, question about homework. For the homework under September 3rd, will that be due then? Do I print the assignment answers, or is there more? Help me understand. Thank you. Bonhorse Chris. From, sent to, subject. They didn't find the homework on the website. Will the site be updated soon? Purchase Logic for Dummies, and is there any other books recommend to help pass this course? Bring me your book, and I will indicate which chapters you can read that will be complementary to the course. That can usually be done just by matching chapter headings. I am attaching the file for Thursday. Always make sure you refresh your browser with F5 when you visit the website. The homework is found at the end of the reading. Sincerely, Kent. Mr. Loughner, you state you attended a beginner class to learn intermediate Tai Chi.
Wait.
Hello, my name is Jared Loughner. I went to Mr. Brownstein's studio to learn intermediate Tai Chi Chuan, and in 14 weeks I was taught 7 positions and spent over dollars. That is $25 per position. I was ignored through the classes and didn't learn the proper positions. I am a community college student who was scammed. I put in a complaint about his beginner class through Pima Community College. I recommend filling out the complaint also and give it to community resources. Here's the website, HTML. Thank you. On August 26th, 2009, Barry Brown.
Sorry, ignore that. And then this is the teacher's response.
Mr. Loughner, you state you attended a beginner class to learn intermediate Tai Chi Chuan. That doesn't make sense, especially if you're going to defame the instructor. May I respectfully suggest that if you want to learn an intermediate skill, you attend an intermediate class. You also state that you didn't learn the proper positions. In temple style Tai Chi Chuan, the style Barry teaches, they are called forms. I expect the reason you didn't learn them is you didn't practice enough. You didn't ask Barry for clarification when you were unsure or confused by a particular movement, and that you went to the class with a predetermined mind set on what real Tai Chi Chuan is and how it is performed. There are many different families and styles of Tai Chi Chuan. They are all pointing to the same end, and a sincere, dedicated student will progress regardless of the family or style chosen. There are also many teachers who are not as great as they claim to be. Barry is not one of those. I've been a student of Barry's for almost 9 years and have spent a bit more than $180, not one penny of which I consider wasted. Barry is an excellent teacher, an accomplished acupuncturist, makes no extravagant claims, and has a lineage through a Chinese Taoist master. Your complaint, especially asking others to back you up, seems to stem either from ignorance of Tai Chi Chuan or your own personal agenda. If you are honestly serious about studying Tai Chi Chuan, please note that there are other Tai Chi teachers in this area. I've taken lessons from a few and found them to be of very high quality. I encourage you to search out or return to one of them. Good luck, David Hall.
Away.
On September 24th, 2009,
I mean, he doesn't seem like a schizophrenic to me.
No.
He seems like he's trying to make his way through college.
Yeah. And this is David and Barry, their response to the Tai Chi course. You can't read it though. But there's 225 pages of emails between him and staff at his school.
What can I say? This was out of the blue for me, but I think I see so many people come through my classes that there will be a few psycho eggs. I could tell he had emotional problems, but my mission is to help everyone. And I never let the psychos run the clinic, ever. And Dave states it well. This guy is complaining.
This is from Barry, the Tai Chi instructor, to Heinrich, Susan, and David Hall, Jason Webster, Dave D. Young. And it's about
his complaint. And he has the audacity
to label him as a psycho egg. Wow.
I mean, to me, that just sounds like they're trying to make it fit the narrative.
Complaining about my private intermediate class to Pima, which has no connection. He unfortunately used my mailing list that I used to send out my flyer. If he doesn't like my class, go elsewhere. Still, I would like to keep my record clean with Pima, so I plan to go to the link provided. Do you have any other suggestions? Thanks and hope you're well. I hear Jason's class is going well. Barry B. from Scheinrich at Pima.edu to Lithops. David and Barry. Fitness and Sports Sciences, Dep Chair, Pima Community College. This in regard to the fall credit Tai Chi course or in CC non-credit course. Do I understand from David's response and the long list of CC'd folks that this gentleman is complaining to others, but not the Pima channels? Other than me, are the people listed on the email students in this class? How long has this been brewing? Are there any other Pima administrators involved at this point? If it is not the FAW course, what, if anything, would you like me to do with this information? Susan.
She said, what do you want me to do about that?
It's just like...
This looks like repeated.
Yeah, it's the emails back and forth.
My gut says the less said, the better, and to resist the temptation to respond further at this point. Dave did a nice job defending you. I'm a little confused that Dave said it was not an intermediate class, and you say it was. But the more you respond, the more fuel you add to the fire. Some people will complain no matter what, and if he is irrational, how can you ever win? If this is in your private business and he uses a mailing list for Pima students, then I think you have to contact the dean at the CC for assistance in protecting your reputation, but I would probably take a wait and see stance before acting further. As you know, in the credit classes, we have the syllabus to guide the students and help them understand what is being covered. The course bank, which was developed with the assistance of experts, becomes the framework of what will be covered, but individual instructors have the freedom to modify the order and pace. If the material listed is not covered, a student could complain, but at that point, the instructor would also have the opportunity to present his side of the argument on why, with this group of students, it might not have been advisable to move to more advanced skills. In your private practice, where students actually pay a good deal more than for the credit classes per hour of contact with you, clarity on your flyers, and in the first session, with an option to get a refund if it is not what they wanted expected, might be good business. Not being an expert on Tai Chi, other martial arts,
might be bad business too if you end up with unethical people who wait until the last day of class to tell you it was not what they thought it would be. So I don't want to get into advising you on that particularly.
Sounds like she's given him a tad of advice too.
Yeah, because he's sitting here blowing up her shit. Talking about how he's a psycho egg because he made a complaint. Wow.
Against his reputation.
Yeah, wow.
Yoga, Pilates. I would rely on the instructors to teach to the spirit of the course outline, even if different philosophies have different terminology. If you had a student who is very caught up in one method over another, or set of terms over another, I would take time to explain the similarities and differences, and try to show how I was meeting those objectives using a different philosophy. I did not have complaints about you for the credit classes. So in my mind, this is a non-issue for future employment, except perhaps for the conversation on how your style differs from the course bank and what you could do to honor the intent. I'm glad Jason's course is going well. I assume so, as I am most likely to hear from dissatisfied students than the ones having a good time. It's a shame, isn't it? Take care, and I hope the lighting of a match. A flash of hot-headedness on the part of the student that burns out in a short time. If, however, he pursues his complaint with the college, contact the appropriate administrator at the CC for advice, as soon as you hear of further action on his part. What can I say? This was out of the blue for me, but I think I see so many people come through my classes that there will be a few psycho eggs. I could tell he had emotional problems.
This was the same email from before. I think maybe they were forwarding them back and forth.
Yeah.
Jared, all of that is laid out in the syllabus found here. That guy seemed like really, I don't know.
I mean, he seems concerned about his grades. I mean,
Yeah.
does that make him a psycho
No,
or schizo? Why is that all redacted?
other students.
This just seems too neat to me, too close to 9/11, all running on that same campaign of gun violence. And, you know, at this point, I'm so disgusted and fed up with it. They create the gun violence, in my opinion.
Hi, Aubrey. I thought that perhaps we were out of the woods regard to Jared Loughner's situation, given that class last Tuesday seemed to go relatively smoothly, without any noticeable misbehaviors. However, I just received the following email from another one of the students in the class, one who is not, in fact, among those who voiced their concerns the first time around. As you'll see below, this student believes that she saw Jared place a small knife on his desk during the class. I do have to confess that I did not notice anything like this. My eyesight, on the other hand, is notoriously bad. I actually dislike teaching in the oblong shaped to 316 because, even with my glasses on, I really can't clearly all the way to the rear of the room. I think we ought to have another conversation with Jared to try to get to the bottom of this, and really at this point, I'd like to do everything that we can to have him removed from the class. I think his presence alone is interfering with the kind of environment that I'm trying to foster in this course. I'll be in tomorrow for a few hours in the afternoon, and perhaps we can meet for a bit to talk further. Years. Stephen Salmoni, PhD in subject Laster is going to class very much. I do have some concerns, though, about the guy in the white shirt and blue jeans. Do you know anything about him? I can't be sure, but I thought the object he put on his desk was a pocket knife inside a protective cover. It was just a little alarming, especially since I've been observing the way he carries himself. I am not wanting to file a complaint or anything, but I thought you should be aware since I don't know what the weapons policy is at Pima, and I don't know him very well. Again, please don't involve anyone at this point, and maybe together we can see that the situation is secure. If you know anything about him,
This is less than a year from when the incident is going to occur. This is February 4th, 2010. So these emails are going out less than a year before the shooting took place.
It could be reassuring to me. I would appreciate that information. See you Tuesday. My office is... Steve, I'm not sure who will be in the afternoon today, but this is something we need to work on quick.
Developing our community through learning. Hi, Aubrey. I think that's another forwarded message. Yeah. Is his name Salami?
It's Solomon, I don't know. What is the welfare check about?
C10-01689 check welfare. At 1,247 hours, Officer Gonzalez responded to report of a female having car problems. Officer Gonzalez arrived and located a female locked inside of her blue 2010 Hyundai Tucson AZ temporary license 681,376 billions. The female appeared to Officer Gonzalez to be confused and upset that she could not get the car into gear. The female could not get vehicle into gear. She refused to start the engine or open the vehicle doors for the next 149 minutes. During the time the female was inside of her car, her passenger arrived at 1,346 hours. Gary's towing was called to assist, and they arrived at 1,429 hours. At 1,457 hours, Tucson Police Department was called to provide a check welfare on the female's 6-year-old son and her frail mother at their residence in TPD jurisdiction. At 1,516 hours, the vehicle was opened, and the female was identified.
Yeah, I'm not sure what this has to do with
Besides
Jared.
the same college and probably targeting certain kids there.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Let's go into web. You guys want to get into web? Ian Carroll created this badassery, and he put a lot of time into this, him and his homies. He dumped all of the 9/11 files, all the FBI vault, cold cases, and it's a AI generated app that is got all these files dumped in it just for these files. So let's just go and click on down here. Wait, are we?
This is his social media posts. Hold on. I don't know how great you guys can see that.
So this is FBI.
Yes.
From the FBI vault.
The only things that are in these documents are FBI.
So following is a review of MySpace account belonging to agent redacted. The MySpace account information was obtained via extingent request completed by the FBI Phoenix division. MySpace account was created on 1/13/2010 at 11:28 p.m. The account was created with a vanity URL fallen asleep by Jared Loughner from IP address The email account associated to the MySpace account was the sax 88, and he did play the sax. So that's odd. He did. And they're saying it was fake?
No, this is the threats he made on his account. The fake one, I will find that in a moment.
I have a huge goal at the end of my life, 165 rounds fired in a minute. You effing die. Okay, I'm effing dead. I'm about to prove myself something. Well, I'm in some deep effing shit that you'll never know.
Every U.S. government official agency is illegally accepting payment without gold or silver. The SWAT team is a U.S. government official agency. Thus, the SWAT team is illegally accepting payment without gold or silver. How could I accept a government with a broken law? Wow. I'm the holder of the infinite currency. Wow. Stop controlling my fucking grammar. I can't stand to look at a fucking pig without thinking about murdering that. Wow. I love you, government. I love you. How do I adore that money system that I can't be a part of with your impossible country, date, and location?
That's unreal. Okay, so
the fake MySpace fake MySpace profile right here. On January 9th, 2011, Special Agent conducted an open source search on MySpace for the name Jared Loughner. SA observed one profile that was associated with Loughner, Class It Up 10. That's the name of his YouTube channel, too.
That's the same name, yeah.
Yeah. The name for this profile was Jared Loughner. The MySpace profile appeared to be a fake Loughner profile due to the misspelling of Loughner's name. SA used blank software to capture the profile. SA then burned it to a CDR and placed it in a FD 340 envelope for review.
So go back to the dashboard up here.
Mm-hmm.
Let's create a new investigation.
Why?
I want to show how much was deleted from Sandy Hook.
You can still look up Sandy Hook stuff in here. Or did you already do that? Right here. Oops, sorry. Hi, Joshua. I just seen
Hi,
that you were in
Joshua.
chat.
Well, so I asked Webb can you tell me how many files from Sandy Hook were deleted or redacted? And he's going through all the files right now. So Go up some. Summary of what's missing from all the evidence in the documents. Here's the breakdown. 102 pages entirely deleted, listed on the deleted page information sheet. At least 2 FOIA requests denied in full. At least 65 additional pages withheld on a single partial grant request. Hundreds of individual redactions on names, locations, witness statements, and investigative methods throughout every single document. Multiple entire FD 302 forms with nothing visible except the exemption codes, the complete substance of witness interviews redacted, serial number gaps, numbering, I can't see it because the thing's on it. 30, 41, 46, 56, 77, 82, 102, 108. So just major pages just missing. Has irregular jumps suggesting additional serials not included in these files. The exact total count of deleted redacted pages across the entire 1,200 plus page collection cannot be stated as a single precise number from the documents alone. The 102 page deletion sheet covers part 1, but parts 2 and 3 also contain extensive redactions and entirely blanked pages not captured in that count. And if you want to dig deeper, the 102 deleted pages where serial number gaps suggest entire documents were removed, not just passages. What specific serial numbers are missing from the sequence? The FOIA requests that were denied. Almost every FD 302 has witness names and agent names redacted, but the BC 7C exemptions allow for protecting living persons. Were any of these witnesses publicly identified elsewhere in news reports or court filings? Go on and ask more questions.
And just to clarify again, this is Sandy Hook, not
no. This is I'm just going to show just the pattern of. Let's see. We're Sin Volt, right?
Yeah. CSON.
You moved it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You still thinking?
Web is such a
like part
amazing
5, a
tool.
massive deletion.
Okay, let's see.
Notable pattern. If you a few things stand out, parts 4 and 5 carry the heaviest deletion burden. 316 pages removed between just 2 files. Those deletion sheets are from FOIA 1, suggesting those parts were processed under a different FOIA request than parts 1, 3, 8, and 9.
Sorry, I'm going to zoom in a little bit so you can see better. There you go.
Part 9 alone has 4 separate deletion sheets totaling 119 pages, meaning the Bureau made at least 4 separate withholding determinations on that file. Part 2 appears to have no deletion sheet at all. Every sheet was apparently released, or the sheet simply wasn't scanned. Techniques and procedures is the dominant exemption on large blocks deletions in parts 8 and 9. Pages 166 through 172, 182 to 223, suggesting those blocks contain detailed descriptions of investigative methods used in the case. And this is on Jared.
Yeah. Which there's 9 individual FBI PDF documents regarding him. And then there's a whole thing of the media within the case, which I thought it was weird that they did it individual like that. Like it's literally one photo at a time rather than like a...
Because they want you to not be able to get through it.
It's so
That's the whole
dumb.
point, which is why Ian Carroll, the GOAT, made web like he did and made it so much easier. So he dumped all of Epstein in here. It's as simple as going in here and just asking them to,
Right here.
chat to look it up. 9/11 files are all in here.
He has, this is everything that he's uploaded into web.
Yes.
So Epstein, 9/11, FBI, cold case files, UFO files, and then religious. Different religions.
So guys, right now, anybody want us to go into any specific area in here? You got a question?
We will do it for you.
We have the complete data sets.
And I think we've both mentioned it before. If you guys are interested in doing research together, we can definitely do that. And I was talking about setting up a Discord server the last time I was on. If you guys are interested in that, I can get on that and we can set up a Discord server. That way we can get in there and research together. And I could upload the links to all this stuff if you guys wanted to go look at it yourself.
And they also made it possible that you can cross-reference these data sets now. So you can intermingle and get answers and all that, so that they can just be crossed. You know why? Because they all have something to do with each other.
Like here, if you create a new investigation, which I'm not going to go through and do that right now, but you can add as many of these as you want. So if you wanted to do all of the government stuff together, you could have all that data sets selected, and then that way you could cross research across all the data sets involving the government. There is a lot in the e-files. Money laundering with famous paintings.
Oh, absolutely. Yes, absolutely. Between the famous paintings and LLCs, yes.
It's never ending.
Let's see. What else?
Get out of here.
I mean, even in the vault.
You want me to go back to Sandy?
Surprisingly, can you make it to where we bring up vault and it shows like what the vault contains? Like it goes back to
here. And this is
the FBI vault. And so we got the 9/11 commission report, which the 9/11 data set itself is way bigger. 9/11 tax FBI, crash of United States airline, Tucson shooting, Aaron Hernandez,
Aaron Swartz,
Abby Hoffman,
Abe Fortas.
I mean, there's serial killers in here.
Yeah. Who did you say you thought might be in it? Kurt Cobain. American Nazi Party. Anonymous. Ooh. Like the hacker group? That would be crazy. I think it's in alphabetical order as well. So this is just... Ian really rocks. He put a lot of time in.
Yes, and he made it so much simpler for people to really who are digging into these things.
Carnivore. Charles Manson.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
There's a lot about Charles Manson. Go back to where we're in the vault.
Like the dashboard?
To where I can ask a question. Okay, so let's just see what Webb's answer was. This is about patterns with the school shootings. Kevin Rothstein, Sandy Hook. So summary of what's missing from all the evidence in the document. Here's the breakdown, 102 pages entirely deleted, which we just read. Every FOIA received full denial. The FBI vault holds 9 separate PDF files for the Jared Lee Loughner shooting of Congress Gabrielle Giffords, 18 others on January 8th, each part of its own, which we just read. So lots of deletions here. The key, what the exemption code mean. The codes next to each deleted page tell you why the pages was withheld. Statutory exemption, grand jury secrecy, among others, personal privacy, names identifying information in living individuals, law enforcement records that could interfere with law enforcement proceedings, law enforcement records that could constitute an unwarranted invasion of personal privacy.
Is this for Jared?
It's for all shootings in general, school shootings.
Okay.
So all photos and videos for Jared.
Full denial?
Yep.
That had to have been changed because there's photos.
So right there, every single FOIA request for the Tucson shooting records in January 2011 was met with full denial.
That's crazy. 511 pages were cut entirely.
The notable pattern, a few things stand out. We already did this. Hi. So Red Lake, this is another one that's in Arizona.
And Temple.
Yeah. It's on a reservation.
All mass shootings investigations that have FBI vault files, then what emerges is not an accident. Damn it. Individual FOIA processing, it's consistent, systematic approach to how the Bureau handles the public records of mass casualty events. Columbine, 4 PDFs, Red Lake High School 9, Tucson 9, Sikh Temple of Wisconsin 9+.
But notice that everything that is released is heavily redacted. Yeah. So they're cutting out a bunch of it, and then what they are releasing is heavily redacted.
Sandy Hook released 102 pages, deleted, hundreds more redacted. You guys remember going through Sandy Hook?
Pulse nightclub.
No files in vault. What? Released mostly classified? Are we real? Yeah. Short answer, they release what they want. Exactly.
Which is nothing.
Yeah. Released minimal deletions so far. That's true. We did go through Nashville Covenant. No faults in no files in vault at all for Uvalade. He locked himself in the classroom.
Yes.
For like a solid chunk of time.
So let's just see. So pattern 1 that Webb is saying, the scripted deletion architecture, every shooting file follows the same structure. There are always FOIA/PA deleted page information sheets, FBI form 4750 that formally enumerate every single page removed. The sheets follow an identical format. The total deleted pages equal X minus with individual page numbers and exemption codes. This isn't ad hoc. It's a standard operating procedure applied uniformly. The exemption combinations are nearly identical across every case. Grand jury material for Tucson, Sandy Hook, Red Lake.
Intra agency deliberations, personal privacy, law enforcement privacy, confidential source info, investigative techniques.
So B3 is the nuclear option. It invokes a separate federal statute, usually grand jury secrecy under Rule 6. When B3 appears on a deletion sheet, it means the material was never subject to FOIA at all by law. Tucson, Sandy Hook, Red Lake, and Sikh Temple all use B3 on their deletion sheets. Pattern 2, the block deletion signatures. Certain investigations have consecutive page blocks removed entirely, a signature that the FBI is removing for complete investigative phase or document type. And then here the same pattern. It's literally the same pattern and this is just covering school shootings.
These aren't scattered redactions, they're structured excisions of document sections. The block shapes are too consistent to be arbitrary. The FOIA logs tell a clear story of information suppression in the immediate aftermath. Tucson, 11 FOIA requests filed in January 2011 alone, every single one denied in full. The first records appeared in the vault years later under processing numbers so-and-so. Sandy Hook, 2 requests in 2013 were fully denied. The first partial grant, 174 pages reviewed, only 109 released, came back in late 2013. The vault posting happened even later. Las Vegas, Route 91, FOIA request filed within weeks. The Paddock
file
that did land in the vault contains documents marked secret, no foreign, classified, not releasable to foreign nationals, and the majority of substantive content is redacted. Robb Elementary, Uvalade, FOIA requests logged in 2022. As of this data set, 0 files posted to the vault. The deadliest school shooting since Sandy Hook, and there are no public investigative record from the FBI in the vault at all. The El Paso Walmart shooting and the Boulder King Supers shooting both have FOIA requests logged but no files posted. This pattern is unmistakable. Immediate full denial followed by partial processing after 2 to 5 years, followed by selective vault posting. The duplicate anomaly in Sandy Hook. The Sandy Hook files contain something unusual. Part 3 has 2 deletion sheets listed that list 227 pages as duplicate. Removed not for content, but because there are copies of other pages in the file. This is different from other shootings where deletions are always exemption-based. This duplicate label might mean the original processing was a court-ordered release when the FBI simply cleaned out duplicate pages, but not that 227 pages of unique content were withheld, but it's worth flagging as an anomaly.
So pattern 5, Stephen Paddock, Las Vegas anomaly. The Las Vegas shooting file is different from all others. Stephen Paddock file is a single PDF, not multiple parts, and the documents within are marked secret. No foreign, meaning they were classified national security information. The deletions cite national security classifications rather than just FOIA exemptions. This is the only mass shooting file in the vault where you'll see secret classification markings. The tier line documents show foreign intelligence sharing, suggesting the Las Vegas investigation had a national security dimension, international leads, foreign connections that other school shootings did not.
We are looking into Las Vegas as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
The unified pattern across every single mass shooting in the FBI vault, the institutional behavior follows the script. Blackout period, all FOIA requests denied in full for 1 to 3 years post-event. Partial processing, years later, a small number of pages are released, always within formal deletion sheets accounting for removed pages. Block deletions, entire sections removed under B3, grand jury, and B7E, techniques, not just name redactions. Witness and agent names universally redacted under B6 and B7C in every file. The remaining record, what's released, is a curated summary enough to show work was done,
Right.
never enough to evaluate the quality or completeness of the investigation. Some shootings never appear. Pulse, San
Bernardino.
Uvalde, El Paso, Boulder have FOIA requests logged, but no vault files at all. The implication is that the vault's mass shooting records are not a transparent window into what the FBI found. They're a carefully managed disclosure designed to satisfy legal obligations while withholding the substantive investigative
work. Yeah. The deletion architecture, the block removals, and the years-long processing delays are not bugs. They are the machinery working exactly as designed. So the Sikh temple shooting has a 73-page consecutive deletion block in part 6, and the Red Lake shooting has 37-page grand jury block. Do these block deletions consistently correspond to specific document types like FD302, witness interview forms, or forensic analysis reports? Pulse nightclub shooting records were requested via FOIA in 2018 and again 23, but no files appear in the vault at all. What was the disposition of those FOIA requests, and were the records denied or still pending processing? The Stephen Paddock file contains secret no-fron classified documents, while school shooting files only use FOIA exemptions. What was different about the Las Vegas investigation that triggered national security classification rather than the standard FOIA processing?
That's what I want to know. What part of national security was at risk, or...
Well, the fact that it was the government up in helicopters actually.
That's the one that they're talking about?
In my opinion, allegedly.
So that's the one where they tried to say that he was in a hotel room, yeah, and shooting from a hotel room?
Yes.
I got you. That makes sense.
Let's see. What else do we want to ask? Does any...
Do any of you have questions?
What do we want to ask? Anything about FBI Vault that you want to ask more? It's basically just a vault of bullshit. That's really what it is. It's just a vault of bullshit. And in a pinch, if they, got Congress or people trying to give them a hard time, they got to release a bunch of redacted shit. I mean, all this is just about as redacted as Epstein. And quite frankly, I am sick of these people using our children or targeting our schools for their political agenda. It's bullshit. I'm sick of it. What else would be in there? Let's ask about Charles Manson. Nothing like finding out so many years later that all these cults that were dangerous and ran by, you know, Charles Manson or whoever,
he's
who's
the
the
cult guy?
detective, David
Yeah.
Koresh or whatever,
Yeah.
were probably really low-key FBI.
Or CIA.
Yeah. Bunch of deleted shit. How's that for transparency? How can you be transparent when you're the culprit? How can you be transparent when you're the culprit?
Ooh.
Yeah, see? Start a new chat.
Well, do you want to see what he said first? Well, it's gonna be blocked by that.
Okay, let's see. Do we want to stay in?
Wait. Zodiac Killer is what Joshua wants to know.
Did you start a new one?
Yeah.
Are you sure? Because it still says Sam.
Yeah, but it's a new chat.
Okay.
The Zodiac Killer was a crazy interesting one. I've always been interested in that case since I watched Criminal Minds. Which I know, Criminal Minds is not super accurate, unfortunately.
Is it a C or a K?
C,
right?
Yeah. He was never found, right?
And this shit makes me sick. It makes me think that they have done nothing but fearmonger us since the beginning of time.
Okay, let's
Oh boy, there's a whole bunch on him.
see.
God, I mean, there was other things in here that I seen that I was just mind blown. I'm like, what? No way.
The infamous Zodiac Killer. Oh my god. Okay. The Zodiac Killer files in the FBI vault. The FBI's released records of the Zodiac Killer organized under FBI. Blah, 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 blah.
They're divided into 5 parts.
Yes. Zodiac Extortion. The FBI's official subject line for the file is Zodiac Extortion, not murder or homicide. This tracks with the Bureau's jurisdictional limitations at the time. The FBI itself acknowledged in internal documents that the Zodiac murders fell under local police jurisdiction. The Bureau's in the absence of the Bureau's of any Bureau violations, no investigation should be conducted in this matter.
The Bureau's role was supportive and forensic, kind of like Charlie Kirk. Sound familiar?
The crime timeline documented in the file. Hold on. I wish you could make these bigger. Okay, you can, like that. For information of the Los Angeles office commencing in August 1969, an individual has written several letters to newspaper in Northern California, some of which contain cryptographic messages, and who signs himself Zodiac has been a suspect and at least 6 unsolved murders in California because of some of the details obtained in his letters pertaining the murders, details not known to the general public. The police agencies which investigated the cases had come to
Confirm
that the Zodiac is responsible for the murders
for which the Zodiac has taken credit
for.
are as follows. So 1030.
Sorry, I gotta scroll over. Is this it?
I don't know.
Oh, let's go back
What's
to
up? All but the Riverside, California crimes occurred in the Sacramento, San Francisco division. The Sacramento and San Francisco divisions have since 1969 on a selective basis requested examinations by FBI laboratory and FBI identification divisions pursuant to requests from the Vallejo, California Police Department, Solano County, California Sheriff's Office, San Francisco PD, Napa County, California. All of these police agencies have had jurisdiction in the murders committed by the Zodiac in their areas.
As a result, the FBI laboratory has on file several samples of handprinting and writings prepared by the Zodiac, which samples were furnished by the above police agencies. The FBI Identification Division latent fingerprint section has on file some latent prints developed from questioned documents and other sources and made available by the above police agencies. Some or all of these latent prints may belong to the Zodiac. For a period of approximately 3 years, no correspondence has been received from the Zodiac. However, on 1/29/74, a letter was received by San Francisco newspaper believed to have been prepared by the Zodiac. The San Francisco office is in the process of obtaining a copy of this letter and any latent fingerprints developed on it for submission to the FBI Laboratory and Identification Division. Can we go chat?
He said no, he was never caught.
Oh, he wasn't. I didn't know that.
So let's see.
Here.
Here, if you do, this is the letter, I assume.
Okay, let's bring her up.
Ooh. Well, that's going to be a bit rough to read.
A bit. Reference Werebell or Wertel. Requesting laboratory. Oh, this isn't it. Director of the FBI.
Photocopies of the new cryptogram were sent to Washington. The National Security Agency and the Central Intelligence Agency assigned their top men and their most sophisticated code cracking computers to the latest cipher. But to date, it still remains untranslated. What? Kind of like Adam Lanza's
Hard drive.
hard drive.
Or was it Jared that had something they couldn't access as well? Hold on. Yeah, Jared had files on his hard drive that were password protected that the FBI couldn't decrypt, apparently, or breach or brute force. Nothing. They couldn't get into them.
There's a whopping 263 documents on the UFOs, man.
But 4.9K pages. Click on it.
I think you gotta start a new one.
You can click investigate it.
Here?
Just delete Cindy.
Which one?
That
This one?
Yeah. All right, now click into it. It took a minute for it to load that it was going. Oh wow. Arrow, annual reports, FOIA. Oh wow, there's not shit. Wait, hold on, chat. Hold on, chat.
There it is, guys.
Hold on, chat.
This will be our next invasion. I mean, is that not boats in water?
That's what I was thinking. Are the aliens coming to get us on boats? IAE or A?
This
Yeah.
is an actual video.
Oh,
What?
my fucking god.
Yeah. And there you have it, dudes.
How would you guys feel about UFOs? Let's not do that. There we go.
Scary stuff, yeah? This is, Trump's
Where did it go?
his major I released the UFO files.
Do you guys believe in UFOs?
It's all bullshit.
I mean, I don't.
Well, it's clear video when they want it to be.
Are they coming to get us on boats?
Oh, come on.
Why is it all messed up?
What the hell just happened there?
I don't know.
Did they zap them into outer space? Is that what they're saying?
Is that what just happened?
It's there 1 minute, gone the next. Oh my god.
Oh no, they zoomed out. Sorry. And their editing is terrible. Goodness. All that money.
Can you go up here and bring up Kevin is Human, his web?
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. I forgot about that. That's another really good one. Ooh, let me not open it in here.
Right.
I know, I can't open it in here. Or else it would have closed out StreamYard. There we go. Kevin is Human is a friend of Ian's.
And co-creator of Web.
Yes.
So Kevin is doing his own side investigation into the missing scientists. And he's got this, you can access it yourself. You can go to Who Killed the Scientists. And he's gathering all the information and data on all of them. And as you see here, eight additional scientists and researchers not yet in any mainstream list. So, and the time frame is just mind-blowing to me because it's all in a short period of time. So we got Michael David Hicks, research scientist, NASA, 24 years. He died July 30th, 2023 at the age of 59. 24 years at JPL on planetary defense, 80 plus papers on comets and asteroids, no cause disclosed, no autopsy, zero statement from NASA. Frank Milewald, JPL principal researchist, highest individual honor, died July 4th, 2024, 61. Most distinguished researcher designation, LED 2023 breakthrough on detecting biosignatures on the other worlds. No cause, no autopsy, no NASA statement. And actually, you can read full profiles here.
He also worked for NASA.
Yeah, oh yeah, all they did. No cause of death. Interesting. Oh shit.
Here.
Sorry.
It's okay. It's okay.
I'm horrible with the back button, man.
I don't even know how you get out of that. Do you want to see the timeline type thing? Or this is the plutonium network that I think Dre made. Oh no, the Leah files. Leah made it. So this is like the companies that they worked for.
So go back over here. 30 metric tons of weapons, grade plutonium, 2,000 bombs worth, 5 companies, 11 scientists, 1 federal decision.
PCAST, White, Mumgard,
Anderson, Ellison, Katz, Huang, Bondi, Department of Energy, Chris Wright, former Ohio board, 3 of 11 OKLO directors are DOE alumni.
Oklo Inc., Standard Nuclear, Shine Technologies, Phil B.
Well, hold the fuck on. Is Pam Bondi? Like Pam Bondi?
Like Attorney General Pam Bondi? Like the Sam Altman.
She's a Qatar lobbyist.
Qatar? The fuck is that? Question mark. I think that is Chris Wright, Bob Mumgard.
Who are these people? You know, I don't even know why you clicked on it.
Well, this is like the companies and stuff. I thought it was important information. And this is still a scientist. So 5 are missing. 6 are dead. The direct connection, click to expand. Sorry, that's just, yeah. Nuno, I don't know how to say that, directed MIT's Plasma Science and Fusion Center, the lab that spun out Commonwealth Fusion Systems. He was shot at home December 15th through 16th. 3 months later, Commonwealth Fusion CEO Bob Mumgard was named to PCAST. 2 months after that, PCAST member companies received 20 metric tons of weapon-grade plutonium. So that's the direct connection. You want to look at debunking?
Mm-mm.
Coincidences? Oh, these are different things.
Yeah.
So he has a whole thing going on here. This is the timeline.
Yeah, so Amy Eskridge dies, anti-gravity researcher, co-founder of the Institute of Exotic Science, Huntsville, Alabama, age 34, said publicly she was scared and felt escalating aggression. No official police or Emmy report ever released.
Michael David Hicks dies, NASA JPL research scientist, 24 years, DART mission, deep space, age 59, no cause of death disclosed, no autopsy, no NASA or JPL statement.
Federal investigation. Dr. Philip Leonard killed LANL high explosive synthesis chemist, nuclear weapon trigger design, 3-vehicle crash on New Mexico 501 outside of Los Alamos. No crash cause determination ever publicly released.
Matthew Sullivan dies, USAF intelligence officer, NASIC deputy director at Wright-Patterson, age 39, Bronze Star recipient, reported suicide 2 weeks before scheduled UAP whistleblower testimony before Congress. IC Inspector General Grant had flagged severe allegations of misconduct and potentially unlawful activities.
And you notice they're all within
like weeks of each
February 24, May 24, July 24.
Or July 4th. Frank Maywald died. NASA JPL principal researcher. It seems like a lot of NASA JPL people are...
No cause of death disclosed. Yeah. No autopsy performed. Great. Go figure.
Charles McMillan killed. 10th director of Los Alamos National Laboratory, head-on collision at 5:16 a.m. on road leading to LA&L. Other driver crossed center with no explanation or memory. DA insufficient evidence for a felony. 3 petty misdemeanors only. Wow.
And then we start getting into 2025. So May 4th, 2025, Anthony Chavez vanishes from Los Alamos National Laboratory. Employee, age 78, left home on foot, car locked in driveway. Exhaustive search produced nothing. Never found. Just vanished. June 21st, 2025, Dr. William Bill Denninger dies. JPL alumni, plasma physicist, BAE Systems technical fellow. No cause of death disclosed. Died 1 day before Monica Reza vanished.
Monica Reza
vanishes. JPL director of materials processing, Mondelez super alloy co-inventor, funded by McCaslin's AFRL from 1999, vanished 30 feet from hiking. Yes, this is the lady that was walking with a hiking companion. She turned around and she was gone. Poof, just gone.
No body recovered. She hasn't been found still. Melissa Casillas
vanishes.
LANL administrative assistant with top security clearance. Factory reset both phones before walking out on foot. Left car keys, wallet, all money, surveillance camera. Walking east on NM 518. Never found.
And that's going to be a common theme. This is June 25. Now this is July 2025. Gary Wilson Phillips dies. Naval Research Laboratory physicist. No cause of death disclosed. Found only in UMD Department Memorial alongside 2 other NRL connected physicists who died in the same summer.
Andrew C. Victor dies. Rocket propulsion.
Same month.
Physicist, no cause of death or employer disclosed. Died between Renza vanishing and Garcia vanishing. Specialty directly overlaps with Renza and Mondaloy.
Mm-hmm. Same month. I mean, July was busy in 2025. That's 3 in July of 2025.
Joshua
LeBlanc.
NASA nuclear propulsion engineer. Draco mission team lead. Age 29. Reported missing at 4:32 a.m. Tesla tracked to Huntsville Airport. Sat 4 hours, then crashed and burned on back roads at 2:45 p.m. Body burned beyond recognition. Of course. Family says movements didn't match his plans. Frank C. Young.
August 1st, 2025. Naval Research Laboratory physicist, former UMD cyclotron researcher, nuclear cyclotron particle accelerator, no cause of death disclosed. 3rd NRL defense physicist in the same memorial, same summer. And then August 28th, 2025, Stephen Garcia vanishes. Property custodian, Kansas City National City campus. 80% of the U.S. nuclear weapon, non-nuclear components. Age 48, left home in camouflage on foot with handgun. No phone, wallet, never found.
3 Wright-Patterson AFRL personnel die. Jamie Gustius 711.
Human Performance Wing.
Jacob Pritchard, AFRL researcher Jamie Pritchard, murder-suicide, no investigative findings ever publicly released.
Imagine.
Jason Thomas, goes missing. Nova Tris.
Cancer treatment researcher, body found in Massachusetts Lake, March 2026. No foul play suspected.
Are we for real?
Yep.
Nuno Lore. These names are hard. Director, MIT Plasma Science and Fusion Center, reportedly near a fusion energy breakthrough, shot by former Portuguese classmate who also carried out Brown University shooting 2 days earlier. Case closed. Wow. 2026.
Carl Grillmore murdered. Caltech astrophysicist Neo surveyor connected to Air Force missile tracking and technology shot on porch of a rural Llano, California home at 6 a.m. Suspect charged in carjacking, burglary, speed. Case closed. So we'll have to go find him.
We looked into him.
There was a suspect charged.
Yeah, we looked into him. We have his.
Oh, we did. I remember.
What's his name? He's in Florida. Or not Florida, LA.
Yeah, close it.
Trump signs UAP disclosure directive, orders all agencies to identify and release UAP files. 4 days later, the man with legal visibility over every classified DoD program walks out of his home and is never seen again. General Neil Classland
vanishes. Retired. Oh yeah, USAF Major General, former Commander, SAP Oversight Committee Executive Secretary. 4 days after Trump UAP disclosure order, left without phone, glasses, or wearables. Carried a revolver. Wife told 911. Planned not to be found. Still missing. And if you want to pause here, go over to YouTube. You can find this video of the body cam footage. I already watched it. Yes. Body cam. Mm-mm.
This?
Yeah.
This is completely like out of the norm for me.
Completely out.
We've been all over the disappearance of retired Air Force General William Neal McCaslin.
He was high clearance.
This is new. This is the body cam from the beginning of the search, the beginning of his disappearance. We are going to play the key moments for you and how it fits into this puzzle. Welcome to Sidebar, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Jesse Weber. All right, real quick before we jump into this, I got to tell you about our sponsor, this app. She doesn't know what. And her husband, this is Force Major General, gone. Not strange yet. Maybe he went for a walk. But then she starts looking. His phone on the counter, turned off. His smartwatch plugged in the bathroom. The shirt he was wearing when she left, hanging in the closet. He changed into something else. She doesn't know what. And her husband, this is William McCaslin, a retired Air Force aides, right now, deputies who responded to his disappearance.
Can you guys hear everything okay?
He has a very classified security clearance. He was the head of Air Force Research Lab, to the point the man's names are in the UFO documents that are fixed to be released. He's in that in-depth, so he has a very high security clearance.
And if you remember, William Neal McCaslin is 68 years old. And as I said, retired Major General, United States Air Force. This isn't some random guy who wandered off. This is someone who spent 34 years working on some of the most sensitive technology the military has. Astronautical engineering, space acquisition, the National Reconnaissance Office, the spy satellite people. Repairman shows up at McCaslin's home on Quail Run Court in Albuquerque. Scheduled appointment, goes inside, interacts with McCaslin. That's confirmed. And about an hour later at 11:10 a.m., his wife Susan leaves for a doctor's appointment. She gets back just after noon, 12:04. He's gone. And at first glance, maybe he stepped out for a walk. He's an avid outdoorsman, hiking, biking, skiing. Knew those Sandia foothills cold. But then she starts looking around. His phone is still on the counter. His prescription glasses are sitting there. His smartwatch is abandoned. And his clothes, she knew what he was wearing when she left. She finds those clothes later in the closet. So he apparently changed into something else, something she can't identify. So she calls 911. And right away, she says something that stops you cold.
This is April. How may I help you?
Hi, April. My name is Susan Wilkerson. My husband is missing.
Okay.
And it's been about 3 hours, and I have some indication that he must have planned not to be found. He's left his phone. He changed his clothes into I don't know what. I think he's on foot. All of our cars and bicycles are in the garage. I left for a doctor's appointment at about 11:10, and he was here at that time at the house. And I got back from that at noon, and he was gone. He turned it off and left it behind, which seems kind of deliberate because he's always got his phone. He has a smartwatch. I don't know if that's with him or not.
Has he ever done this before?
Never. Nothing even remotely like it. He's a retired Air Force Major General. He's very responsible, but he's also facing some medical issues.
Do you have any video at your home?
No.
Has he been diagnosed with any mental disorders or anything like that?
Well, we've been seeing a doc for both physical and mental in terms of anxiety, short-term memory loss, lack of sleep. The same doc I went to see today.
Does he carry any weapons on him?
Well, not generally. He does have a gun safe, and I went to look in the gun safe to see if anything was missing, but I couldn't tell if anything was. He has quite a number of pistols and rifles. Other than saying if his brain and body keep deteriorating, he didn't want to live like that. But it seemed to me that was just a, man, I hate how this is going kind of thing, because I told him, yes, you do. Yes, you do.
Okay. We're going to send some deputies up to talk to you, see if we can search a little bit and see what's going on, okay?
Sure. Thank you very much.
You're welcome, ma'am.
But before deputies even arrived, before the body cam rolled, his wife did something else. She went public right there on Facebook. While the search was still in its first hours, she posted a plea for help. And then as the theory started swirling, she posted again, this time addressed
Neil McCaslin has now been missing for 1 week. There has been no indication whatsoever of where he might be. There have been dozens of searches on foot. Both official and friends and neighbors of Neil's who coordinate with the official sources. There have also been horseback searchers, drones with different capabilities, helicopters, 3 different types of search dogs, neighborhood canvassing, and looking for ring or wildlife videos. Organizations involved are blank, which is the lead organization, Albuquerque Field Office of the FBI, New Mexico State Search and Rescue, Albuquerque Mountain Rescue Air Force Office and of Special Investigations, Albuquerque Police Department, and maybe others of which I am unaware. I am so grateful to one and all for their unflagging, dedicated efforts and support. I would like to take this opportunity to dispel some of the misinformation calculating about Neil and his disappearance, mostly from uninformed media sources. The initial silver alert from BCSO mentioned medical coordinates, which some have taken to mean Alzheimer's. Neil is at some risk, but not from dementia. He was not confused or disoriented. There was no concerning Friday morning telephone call to a close relative. I have been in contact with all of his close relatives and some not so close ones. This is a complete fabrication. It is true that when Neil was in Air Force, he had access to some highly classified programs and information. He retired from the Air Force almost 13 years ago and has had only very commonly held clearances since. It seems quite unlikely that he was taken to extract very dated secrets from him. It is true that Neil had a brief association with the UFO community through Tom DeLonge.
That's all I have to say.
Huh?
He read. So you can skip past it.
Is this the dash or body cam?
Into his favorite coffee shop right now to see if they've seen. Trying to get a hold of everyone. I'm actually walking into his favorite coffee shop right now to see if they've seen
This
him.
is the person he had dinner with, or business dinner with.
I work with Mr. McCaslin on the Kirtland Partnership. He's a board member. He's a retired general with Air Force Research Lab.
Okay.
And we had dinner Thursday evening at Cervantes off of Gibson.
Okay.
At 6 o'clock with Space Force. And what I noticed, I was shocked this morning when I saw the alert, because what I noticed Thursday evening is he wasn't his usual self. He was kind of spacey and quiet. And you know, that happens with people, so I didn't put anything with it.
Right.
He left in his vehicle, and then I called this morning. I called security forces out at Kirtland just to ensure he hasn't used his card out there, and he hasn't. He has an access based, and they're going to keep monitoring that area. But from what I understand, well, let me tell you this first. So Thursday evening, he was wearing a blue and white striped collared shirt, button down.
Okay.
And he was wearing a little name tag, his KPC name tag. And so, from what I understand, is he left the house. His wife didn't take anything, was on the running trail, and it was last seen at 11 o'clock yesterday.
Right. Right. Does he carry like a security clearance or anything like that?
He has a very classified security clearance. He was the head of Air Force Research Lab. To the point, the man's names are in the UFO documents that are fixed to be released.
Okay.
He's in that in-depth, so he has a very high security clearance.
Now, back at the house, a deputy is talking with McCaslin's wife, and she's starting to piece together a timeline.
I wish we knew. I mean, the doctor has given him referrals to a neurologist, to a gastroenterologist, a psychologist, but those were just earlier this week. So
What is causing him to go to the doctor and getting those referrals? What issues?
in addition to some physiological changes within the constituents, like his internal temperature regulation mechanism has gotten haywire. He's all the time, which for a guy who loves skiing and slipped on snow and a bag is not good.
So dementia is not a concern.
He's had anxiety. He's had brain, I guess you call it fog, short-term memory loss, certainly. He's resigned from a board he was on back in Washington because he said he just couldn't keep up with what he was talking about.
Then the deputy asks about weapons.
Do you have any weapons that you guys keep in the home? Yes. Brad has quite a few rifles and handguns that are in a gun stock.
Would you know if any of them were missing?
Well, I checked the gun safe. The first thing I noticed was, I had to get the key to even open it, but it was unlocked, but it was shut. But I looked inside and I couldn't tell. There's nothing obvious about what might be missing because I don't keep track of guns. A lot of them are kind of historic pieces. But he has functional guns.
Then the detective on scene starts asking about where he might have gone.
Is there anywhere he know to go? Like, does he do places to eat or go?
Well, I drove around. We have a friend about 2 miles away, and I drove to her house and knocked on the door. We have a key to her house. The key is here. in the bedroom, and she is in Cancun.
Oh, wow.
So,
What's his birthday?
yeah, he's 68. Now,
Does he have a New Mexico ID? If I ran him, would he come back with that from here?
from what?
New Mexico driver's license? Oh,
Yeah.
it's not there. Okay. And so is there any like trails that he frequents? Like,
Well, you know, I drove up into Elena Gallegos. I drove around our neighborhood, his house.
you went over.
I mean, yeah, maybe he hiked up Lalu. So it's going to take the tram back. But that's odd that he would have left it running his watch.
And this is completely like out of the norm for him.
Completely out of him.
And then his wife brings up something that she mentioned on the 911 call. But here she adds more detail. The trip that he was supposed to take, the friends, and what he was worried about.
I mean, you'll see it all over the house preparations. He was going to a backcountry ski hut next week with 17 friends.
Sweet. Wow.
A ski into kind of place. So there's food and gear and there's all kind of things out that he was setting aside for that. But he was worried that his physiology was going to let him down on this trip.
Then questions turn to, how is McCaslin feeling?
Have you noticed, like, just like his mentation? Has that been different? Was it different today?
Today, he had taken a drug that the doctor prescribed last night that was supposed to help with sleep. With weight gain, he's lost about 20 pounds for no reason. And with anxiety. And today he woke up and said, well, I got better sleep, but it's like after effects of a bad hangover. I'm just foggy. I can't get any motivation to do anything. And like I said, he was very clingy. He wanted me right beside him. My husband has been having some mental issues, physical and mental. He's very, very active physically and has always had a very sharp mind, retired Major General from PhD from MIT.
Oh, wow.
And he's been feeling brain fog. Please have a seat. His name is William Neal McCaslin. He goes by N-E-R. McCasland. So anyway, today he was quite down and kind of clingy, which is unusual. And I had a doctor's appointment. I remember looking at my car clock. I backed out at 11:10. And I was back by around noon and he was gone. And I found his phone turned off and left on his stand. I found his smartwatch plugged in the bathroom. And all the cars are here, bicycles are here, so he has to be. I found the shirt he was wearing when I left in the closet, so I don't know what he was wearing.
So this is the part where the deputy circles back on something that could have helped, a GPS device. McCaslin had one for backcountry trips, but his wife checks, and what does she find?
You think this might have GPS, like, tracking? Two-way radio.
Or it's his avalanche beacon. I'm not sure. Let's see. Gosh almighty.
This does not have. What is InReach?
InReach is a satellite communications cell phone in essence. And it gives position every time it sends a message. And you can go back once you receive a message and even like click on a connection and it will show you the track that has been followed.
Okay.
So it does talk to GPS.
Yeah.
And it also allows text via satellite.
Yeah, this is the internet that I'm reading says that this doesn't have any GPS or anything tracking.
Okay, so that's his avalanche beacon then.
Is it possible he may have that with him?
Since he deliberately left his phone and watch?
Meanwhile, police also talked to neighbors, knocking on doors, looking for any camera that might have caught which way McCaslin went. And one neighbor mentions a tunnel, this hidden route most people don't even know about.
As you walk down the trail from San Rafael Light and then go over, there's a great tunnel underneath where although they built new apartments and condos or something to the west side.
Okay.
So that's only been there probably about 3 or 4 years. To me, it just seems like yesterday.
Yeah.
But when I worked on a lot of the trails and all of this stuff and the lights and downlighting and the county and stuff like that.
Right.
So when we put in that tramway trail, there's also on the black asphalt pavement, there's kind of a little walk place where you can also go down kind of into the wash over here.
Okay.
And underneath that, the reason why that all the setbacks are the way they are is because there is underneath a tunnel that we made especially for a rider on a horse. Because in the olden days, that was the North Albuquerque Acres where everybody had horses.
Sure.
Up here, you just lived with rattlesnakes. But over there, the horse people. So we have a huge tunnel underneath that two riders can ride kind of side by side abreast on the horse and go underneath that tunnel from that far side, and it goes underneath and this trail next to the black asphalt, there's just kind of a little walking down slope, and that's where a huge tunnel for the riders to come through on their horses. Then the middle of the trail goes up and then crosses Sims Park Road at a place where a rider can then ride on into Elena Gallegos.
Then the neighbor adds something else, a warning about where that tunnel leads and who might have been living down there now.
Yeah, that's what I've been hearing from some of the neighbors.
Bobcats, cougars, bear, everything. But the bears, I don't know if they've woken up yet, but birds, lots of. But this is not an unusual place where, anyway, but that if he wanted to go down just a trail, the black asphalt trail, underneath that tunnel, what I've been worrying about is homeless moving in there because it's like a condo down there, probably. Are there people living under there?
I haven't been down there yet, but it's probably.
I want the county to check it out because, I mean, there's a network we don't even know about.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a great protected tunnel area because because it was made for the horses and riders to go through, and the cars go over the top of that bridge over there.
Okay.
So that I would just say that's about the only little.
And it's the one right across from the new.
See where Sim Park Road comes out, and that's the city. That's the Elena Gallegos Trail. That's the Elena Gallegos Road going up to the wilderness area.
Oh, okay.
Police also speak with another neighbor. This is a man who used to work with Neil McCaslin. And what he says about the general, it paints a very specific picture.
Yeah, he used to be my boss. He's a retired general, Air Force. I haven't seen him in forever.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I see him like once every. I haven't seen him. I thought I saw Susan, his wife, walking up the driveway a day or two ago, but I haven't seen McCaslin.
Okay.
Oh my God.
All right.
He drives around in that little sports car, and he's got like a Range Rover, like African safari vehicle.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? Have you seen his? He was parked outside. Neil used to be my boss. My boss's boss's boss, which is hilarious. I briefed him back in 2000 when he visited Boston. So I think they had the house here, and I lived in Boston, and he came up to the air base.
Okay.
And I briefed for him projects I had. He was this scary colonel. He's a PhD. I'm a PhD, but he's a PhD in some other science, engineering, and then he ran the scientific lab, and he's like smart as hell. And
and
he's really straight laced and so he's not if you walk, there's something wrong.
Yeah.
Unless they went for a walk and popped an aneurysm or stroked out or something. But then you thought he'd be on
the road somewhere.
Yeah, he'd be on the bike path or up the trail up.
Right.
Oh, man.
That same neighbor, the one who used to work for McCaslin, also mentioned something else. Cameras.
Next door, the folks right here, they have a little entry with it's a fenced in, but they have a ringtone camera. Right here, these guys, right behind that wall is their front door and a little patio. So they have a camera that would see maybe the little gate they have.
I thought is this not Neil's? Yeah.
No, they're the next house. And then the house, they have the bigger house, like up the hill with a curved driveway. Yeah. And you'll see the extra, like there's I forget what it's called, like a big Range Rover thing.
Yeah.
And then, and they have a fenced-in yard, and they got a dog that they don't walk a lot, but he barks at night because he can see between the fence.
Yeah.
Anyway, but so he's 2 houses over.
Okay.
Neil and Susie.
Back at the trailhead, deputies are stopping hikers, showing them a photo, asking if they've seen anyone matching McCaslin's description. And there's one group that mentions a man with a walking stick, oriented.
I'm looking for a missing person by chance.
Oh, okay.
So I do got a picture. I don't know what he's wearing though, unfortunately. See, I thought I had a picture. Yeah, there he is. He's gonna be the one in the black shirt.
I don't think so.
No.
That wasn't the guy with the
that was talking to us?
He doesn't seem like he was lost though.
He didn't seem lost, but there was one guy with a walking stick.
With a walking
that kind
stick?
of looks like him.
He might be. We're not sure yet.
Okay,
I'm not sure if he's suicidal.
He was oriented.
He was very oriented.
Yeah.
How long ago
very
was that?
oriented.
Like
Maybe an hour.
An hour ago?
Yeah, it was like right at the beginning. Like he would have already been down here.
Yeah.
Okay, he was coming on his way back?
Yeah, he was probably 2-3 minutes from the entrance.
What was he wearing?
Walking this
So
way.
he had like a blue shirt.
Blue, did he have a blue hat just like yours?
Yeah.
I think I talked
maybe
to
a
that.
cap.
He had a cap.
Cap?
Yeah.
Okay.
And sunglasses.
I
And
talked to
2
someone down
hiking
there.
sticks.
And 2 hiking sticks.
And a backpack.
Okay. If you guys see that person, just call in and just let us know.
Absolutely, I will.
I'll be cruising around. I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Meanwhile, a deputy is back with the canine handler, and they're trying to figure out where to even start tracking. The problem? They don't know which direction McCaslin left the house.
If we're dealing with someone who is suicidal at this point, like, what would make him suicidal?
So she said the neurocalls were saying he's having a very hard time with temperatures, and he has a big skiing, like snow trip coming up with 17 friends, and he's worried that he won't make it physically.
Okay. What about financial stuff? You know, is there a hardship there? No mention of it.
Dom's leading question. I don't think that's been asked yet.
Because this is my thing too. It's like I wanted to know exactly if they go on walks like out here, like if he's walking, she said on this trail, that's a long ways to get to that point.
Yes. Just to get to the trail.
Well, I could possibly track him with a dog, but it would have to be from like a little spot where we know that this is probably where we walked through. So if it's in the backyard and skirt it up that way, I could track him all the way. Hutch will track. I've tracked up to a mile with him before, so he'll do it.
Yeah.
And I'll probably just need, because I don't know if he's going to be crossing up roads. He's done urban stuff too. I need like a dirty pair of socks or something.
She has the clothes he was wearing earlier today.
That might work. We're going to canvass the area. If I can figure out like exactly where he had taken off from, like even like if you walk through the backyard and like kind of went up this way, would you do something like that?
Never do that.
Okay, so you basically stay on the streets.
He'd be leaving the property one way or another on Quill Run.
Okay, that's what I want to figure out. Because if we're gonna start looking, I want to know, like, I guess, is he physically able to start going through?
He's physically able to climb a loose trail to the crest.
Oh, yeah. Probably more so than me then. I've done that once and I was not about to do it again. Okay. Well,
he does that 2 or 3 times a year.
Good for him. And we're going to start canvassing, we're going to start driving around and seeing at that point.
Let's see the picture that you have from the one.
Sure.
So we all have a fresh image in our head. Okay.
Okay.
Perfect.
And his name again?
Neil.
Yeah, that's great.
You want to ask for the last clothes he was wearing?
I don't know if I'll get to that point. If it gets to a point to where I'm able to track him with my dog, I'll ask you for the clothes that he was wearing.
Okay.
And we'll go that route with it. I don't know if I have a good area to start that, so I don't think I'm going to be able to at this moment.
Okay.
But if it gets to that point, then I'm able to track him with my dog here.
Okay. I'm pretty sure since Quill Run Court is a cul-de-sac and all you can do is kind of go toward Tramway, that he would have left that direction on Quill Run.
Drone operators are out searching too, but the terrain is brutal. One deputy explains what they're up against.
So Sarge wants us to go check the other house, the house that she's talking about.
Oh, the one that the friends that are.
Yeah. So even though that they're gone, if one of you wouldn't mind heading that way, then he's gonna ask missing persons for a 21 now and see what these guys come up with.
So she said that if he does go hiking.
So I don't know about you, but I find it so strange and disturbing that he goes missing just before Trump is about to release the UFO files. What about him having all that anxiety? What do you have anxiety about? Top secret classified shit, no doubt that he was not telling his wife, but yet she knew he was anxious and had anxiety. Well, who else had anxiety? Charlie Kirk.
That's exactly what I was just thinking. It's so sad.
I mean, it is. It's just the links that they're going to continue to go through for their political shenanigans, because that's what it is nothing but shenanigans. This is all fear-mongering, trying to control us at any cost. Any cost. We are nothing to these people. Nothing to these people.
Me too, Joshua. That's exactly what I think when I am reading through this stuff, is that the families are really the ones that are getting completely screwed on information. I mean, there's no transparency at all. A lot of these people haven't been found. Their bodies haven't been found.
And why isn't this being reported on? Why isn't the mainstream media collectively putting together this astronomical amount of people within weeks of each other all disappearing that all have the same profession? And it's just so strange. And then the police were there and out searching within an hour or so of her reporting him missing. He's never been found.
His body hasn't been found.
Nothing. You don't just vanish and disappear into thin air.
And he had a tendency, as of the time recent, to be clingy and want his wife with him more and spend more time with his wife.
Does that make you feel like he knew, like he felt like something bad was going to happen? It's just also strange and it's disturbing. I mean, we as the people cannot keep just allowing the government to fearmonger us and control us in this way. They're making victims, and I mean, the United States doesn't even control the United States, and that's just the bottom line. And until we can get a handle on that, we're going to be the United States of Israel. That's the bottom line.
If you guys are interested in the Discord server, I think I am going to maybe start creating one. And once it's done, we'll upload it in a description or the channel's description or something like that. And it'll be for any court documents for any case that we cover. I'll make a subsection for each case that we cover, and I'll link any sources that we have for them. And on top of that, we will also have not live streams, but maybe calls or broadcasting things. I don't know what it's called on Discord, where you guys can join in and we can talk together all together. And
that would be cool.
Yeah, and then we
could
could
on X too, right?
Yeah.
Like
space
yeah,
or something like
an
that.
X space or whatever.
Yeah, something. And that way you guys can hop in and we could talk more one-on-one and have it be more personal, and we could do research together. If that's something you guys are interested in. I haven't seen Diana and
Dave's. I haven't either.
Forever.
No. I could give her a text, make sure she's okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. Like, so, and also anytime that you have any ideas or anything that you want us to cover, and trust me, we have a bunch of cases that we're currently
looking into.
Yeah. I mean, it's by the droves. There's so many.
Yeah.
So many that just don't seem right. And it's a lot to go through.
Yeah.
It's disheartening. But the truth has to get put out there. It has to get put out there. So
I agree. We have to keep talking. Because when we stop talking, that's when violence happens. That's what Charlie Kirk used to say.
We're under attack by our own government.
It's sad, but it's true. If you guys are not already, make sure you like and subscribe.
Share. Turn on notifications.
Yeah, all the things. All the things. We appreciate all of you, and we really do enjoy hanging out with you guys. These live streams are so much fun for both of us.
And Josh, thanks for always coming and hanging out.
Yeah, Josh,
and
you're
interacting.
awesome.
You're awesome.
I feel like I've seen him in almost all of our lives.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're awesome, Joshua.
Yeah. So if you can think of anything that you guys want us to dig into,
you guys can comment it on the community. You guys can create a community post yourselves and let us know. I know Bill has done that before, so if you guys want to let us know through there. If not, you can always send an email to silenceiscomplicity with 2 Y's at proton.me.
Oh, Tyler Robinson does have a hearing tomorrow morning. I don't know if it's in the morning or in the afternoon.
I'll have to look.
But he does have the hearing tomorrow that is only covering the
motion to
show cause on contempt for the prosecution. And then his prelim starts in July. That's my biggest fear, is at the rate that we're going and the astronomical weirdness that is just popping off left and right with one shooting attempt on President Trump after another. My fear is Tyler never makes it
to trial.
Yeah.
I could see that. And it's not unheard of. So that would really suck.
This is so deep, guys. Like, it is so deep.
Oh, yeah.
I flew out to Arizona and I went by TPUSA. It's so creepy. They have completely put up a wrought iron gate around the entire facility, which it's 6 buildings, 3 massive ones on each side. And then they have it completely closed off to the public now, as well as, you know, a big ass sliding gate for cars to come in and out. And they have named it the Buckman campus. And I've covered quite a bit about the Buckmans.
It's just
It's
there's so
crazy.
much corruption and it runs so deep. It's insane. I mean, it's just one thing after another. It's never ending.
And let's not forget our president getting on social media saying the very stupid shit that he says. Oh, it looks like we have a peace deal. Things are going good. The Strait of Hormuz will be open. An hour later, Israel is bombing somewhere and ruins it, if it's even really happening. Meanwhile, our gas prices are up, groceries are up. Everybody is suffering the consequences of these stupid ass egotistical people that are on a power trip. And another thing, I'm just gonna put this here on my own. Miriam Adelson has no business in the, well, I would say the United States of America, but they've seen to it that it's the United States of Israel. She has quite literally bought her way into America. She owns multiple sports complexes, basketball, baseball, football, race car, casinos. I mean, we don't have a place for Miriam Adelson here. And that's just my opinion. Again, I would like to point out, every time you see Donald Trump in a meeting, if he's not sleeping, he's got some weird Jew guy standing to his left, watching him.
Yeah.
But that's the state that we're in right now. And in my opinion, knowledge is power. And to sit back and pretend like none of this shit is happening is just ignorance. So we are going to keep on, and I don't care if that means this channel never gets monetized, because I don't give a shit. What I care about is this information has to be put out there.
And get in the
and
truth
that's
out.
what we're going to do.
I hope you all have a wonderful night. Make sure you stay safe, stay hydrated, and eat your food. We love you guys.